about?
Well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1994 as well. You mentioned Mike Keenan. We spoke with him in studio a couple of weeks ago. He still speaks so highly of you and of that run. So take us back to ending the 54-year drought. In Game 7, you get a power play goal. You shovel a puck underneath of Kirk McLean. Stands up as the game winner, as it turns out. So take us back to that hot, steamy night. What was it, June 14th of 1994 at the Garden in New York?
Just, I guess just starting, going to the rink, trying to keep your same routine. Brian Leach and I would always drive together down through Times Square, down Broadway 7th Avenue to take a right-hand turn on 33rd Street, and you could feel things were different, even from the Upper West Side. Just the vibe and the energy of the whole city was just electrified. Getting down towards Madison Square Garden, seeing the crowd already starting to build, the police officers surrounding the Garden, it was a carnival-like atmosphere. Obviously, we knew we were something on the cusp of doing something that hadn't been done in 54 years. The magnitude of it was palpable. I mean, the energy, just everything just seemed to be so electrified. You try to keep yourself in the moment. You try to stay with your routine. Obviously, there's a much more at stake. And then, we found ourselves, much like we did in 87, up 3-1 in the series, losing to the fifth game, where it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that New York Rangers were finally going to win a Stanley Cup after 54 years. Only to find ourselves, the party atmosphere got a little bit delayed and then had to go back to Vancouver, which again, we got trounced in Vancouver, just like we did in 87, and now we're coming home for Game 7, and the same thing happened. It just, we felt good about our chances. We felt we were a better team than Vancouver. We felt that we should have wrapped up the series earlier against Vancouver, but that's the greatest thing about sports. You can think all you want, but the reality is they got a heartbeat over there too. They got pride over there too. They're there for a reason, because they're a great team. And here we are in Game 7 and happening to go out and execute a great game plan to beat a very hungry, very young, very physical, hard team to play against in Vancouver. And luckily for us, we had a lot of experience. We had a dynamic, incredible amount of talent with Brian Leach and Sergei Zubov, Alex Kovalev, Adam Graves, and Mike Richter and net, and then sprinkled in with some veterans, some hardened veterans with McTavish and Tikkanen and Steve Larmer and Noonan and Mateau and Jeff Bukaboom and Jay Wells and all the amazing players that banded together that year to create maybe not the most skilled team that's ever won a Stanley Cup, but if you look up the word team, they could put the 1994 Ranger team right there, and that year, that team epitomizes what a team is all about.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Sunday, April the 13th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 1 p.m., New Jersey Devils face the New York Islanders. Devils on XM 219 Internet 936, Islanders on Internet 937. 1 p.m., Ottawa Senators face the Philadelphia Flyers. Sens on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 939, Flyers on Internet 940. 3:30 p.m., Pittsburgh Penguins face the Boston Bruins. Penguins on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 941, Bruins on Internet 921. 5 p.m., Carolina Hurricanes face the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hurricanes on XM 219 Internet 924, Leafs on Internet 946. 6 p.m., Tampa Bay Lightning face the Buffalo Sabres. Lightning on XM 220 Internet 945, Sabres on Internet 922. 6 p.m., Washington Capitals taking the Columbus Blue Jackets. Caps on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 950, Jackets on Internet 927. 7 p.m. Winnipeg Jets face the Edmonton Oilers. Jets on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 951, Oilers on Internet 930. 8 p.m. Calgary Flames face the San Jose Sharks. Flames on XM 219 Internet 923, Sharks on Internet 942. 10 p.m. Anaheim Ducks take on the Colorado Avalanche. Ducks on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 920, Avs on Internet 926. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Sunday, April the 13th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 1 p.m., New Jersey Devils face the New York Islanders. Devils on XM 219 Internet 936, Islanders on Internet 937. 1 p.m. Ottawa Senators face the Philadelphia Flyers. Sens on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 939, Flyers on Internet 940.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on Channel 157.
Six-time Stanley Cup champion and Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Messier stopped by SiriusXM NHL Network Radio's The Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin to discuss what Game 7 means to him and what it's like to also lose a Game 7.
Well, when you think about the two greatest words in sports, you think about Game 7 for many reasons. Obviously, to get to a Game 7, both teams obviously very evenly matched from the literal sense, the Game 7. You don't have to be a sport fan to understand that something's big at stake and that you will go watch it even if you don't know the teams, you don't know the players, you know the backdrop, because it's the greatest form of reality TV in the world, because there is going to be a winner and a loser. A lot at stake, obviously. But for me personally, it's a lifetime journey to acquire the skill set that's required to be able to perform when the stakes are the highest, under the most scrutinized pressure, when you're expected to perform. And you think about a Game 7 moment, or Game 7, that's when you have to perform. It's a winner or go home situation. And what are the skill sets that are required to do that? Obviously, we've practiced our game and honed our skill set for years and years and years, tens of thousands of hours of honing our skills. But emotionally, mentally, what prepares you to play in those moments and perform when you're expected to? That, I think, is what really defines a Game 7 moment for the players that have excelled in Game 7 moments. And what are those life lessons that we can teach our young boys and girls, and the skill sets required to do that? The breathing, being able to slow your heart down, and your blood pressure goes up, and your decision-making is rash, and concentration varies because of all of it. What allows you to kind of really slow down and use your God-given talent, and then obviously the repetitions through your whole life that you know you can do it. You just got to be able to do it when it matters most. It's like hitting a home run, and like Aaron Boone did, or doing something special at the right moments. And I think the educational part of the docuseries is really fascinating to me there, to help our young boys and girls who will be faced with big decisions in their life. And you don't have to be a sport fan to have a Game 7 moment in life. Everybody's faced with decisions that are going to alter the trajectory of their lives in one way or another there, and we're trying to figure out what those skill sets are.
What does it feel like to lose a Game 7?
Fortunately for me, I never experienced what the Oilers did last year, of going all the way to the end in a championship game and losing in a Game 7. Anytime you get to a Game 7, it's a hard journey to get there. Two teams, evenly matched. It's been a war. It's been a tug-of-war. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's tired. And then to lose that is devastating. I think about my own experience in Game 7, winning 7 of them. The two still hurt to this day. What could I have done different? You always say that you got to lose in order to understand how to win. I do agree with that. I think there are lessons in loss and in failure, both as a team and as an individual. If I had my preference, I would have liked to have learned those lessons while I was winning, but unfortunately that's just not the way it is. But I look back at it now and just think about how grateful I am for all the lessons in wins and the losses, because it really ends up defining who you are as a person and as a player.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Track.
The Fan.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is presented by Lenovo and is brought to you by Pepsi, Kinetico, Spectrum, UNC Health, Vector Security, North Carolina Education Lottery, Harris Teeter, Kia, and Cardinal Apparel. You're listening to the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
We've all ridden the subway at some point in our lives, right? Maybe the Metro, if you're familiar with D.C., Atlanta's MARTA, the T in Boston. At some point, you arrive at the last stop. Today is that, as it pertains to the regular season at Lenovo Center. Hi, everyone. I am Adam Gold, and tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes host the Toronto Maple Leafs, closing out the 41-game home slate, and their 31 wins and 63 points represent the best the Eastern Conference has to offer. That doesn't get you a trophy. Heck, it doesn't even get you a cookie or a hot, soft pretzel with brown mustard. Now I'm hungry. But it's an indication that today, against the Leafs, is important. Because the more teams you are ahead of in the standings, the greater your chances of starting a series on home ice. Right now, we know the Canes and the Devils will open up their series here, more than likely Sunday or Monday. After that, if seeds hold, it would be in Washington. But if the Hurricanes are still skating come the conference finals, you want the best chance to open that dance right here in Raleigh. While the Hurricanes haven't won their last two, they did yesterday, the performances in each have been excellent. For sure, 5 of the 6 periods have been as Rod Brindamore would have drawn them up. Carolina established their game in the offensive zone, got behind the defense, created 3 of the first 4 goals yesterday there, and stayed on the attack all game long. Those performances, as long as they take care of the little things in their own end, normally add up to a successful night at the office. All right, it's worth considering if this might be Freddie Anderson's final regular season start, no? Carolina has just 2 games left, Wednesday and Thursday in Montreal and Ottawa, respectively. Back with lineups and more after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. It's that time of year, folks. Back on the open road, taking a cruise on the motorcycle, but there's always that risk when you're on the bike. That's why you got to contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, even before you contact your insurance company. Insurance companies pay the least amount possible. Law Tigers, the riders, too. They know what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on my plan and my home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on my plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center. Injuries and scratches brought to you by UNC Health. Jordan Martinook won't play today. Sheet starting lineup. Same as yesterday, except Taylor Hall is in and Jordan Martinook is out. Different configuration. Mike Maniscalco and Chip Tracy will have the call of the Canes and the Leafs after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low 5s, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS
1-800-716-6171, subject to lender approval. NMLS Consumer Access.org.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Rev up your engines at Apex Racing Lab, the Triangle's largest sim racing destination. Experience the ultimate thrill with 16 cutting-edge simulators, expert instructors, and world-class virtual tracks. Apex Racing Lab brings the adrenaline-pumping world of sim racing to life. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, you can race friends and family for fun or join a competitive league. Ready to race? Head to Apex Racing Lab in Gary's McGregor Village in Greater Raleigh and unleash your racing passion. Learn more at apexracinglab.com.
If you've been hesitating to go ahead and get that new Ram 1500 Laramie you've been eyeing, John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington is making it easy for you to pull the plug. All new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramies are now $15,000 off at John Heister. Guts, glory, Ram, all yours. The powerful engine, the comfort, the advanced technology, all yours. For $15,000 off. See dealer for full details. Get off your keister and get to Heister. John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
From Carolina winters to our very sunny summers, as America's exterior remodeler, Window World is here to keep families across the Triangle comfortable year-round. If you need new windows, siding, doors, and more, look no further than your locally owned Window World, the Triangle's most trusted and America's largest exterior remodeler. A proud sponsor of the Canes, Window World will get your home looking great on the outside while saving on energy costs inside. Get in touch with them today and request a free quote. Window World of Raleigh and Fayetteville. Improving homes, changing lives.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Out the home portion of the regular season schedule today against the Toronto Maple Leafs here inside Lenovo Center, where they'd love to add another banner here in the rafters. Frederick Anderson gets the start for Rod Brindamore. 13-6-1 on the season, and outstanding goals against average and one shutout. Meanwhile, Toronto will counter with Joseph Wall. He's got career high in games played and wins this year with 25 wins in 40 games and one shutout as the Canes get ready for this matchup. And Scott Morrow in the lineup again, the UMass product in his 12th game this year, has a goal and 4 assists. Rod Brindamore knows that his team has 2 more games left on the road after this one, and here we go. Carolina pushes the draw into the Leaf zone, which forces Philippe Myers back behind his net. Get a closer look at the big defenseman as this puck is chipped into the Canes bench. 13 seconds into this one, we get a whistle.
What a start Carolina had yesterday against the Rangers. The Rangers' playoff hopes on the line, facing elimination. I thought the most impressive part of the Hurricanes start is you would have thought that it was Carolina who was facing elimination. That's how desperate they were in both games against Toronto. Carolina beat the Leafs here earlier this season, the first game in Toronto after the Four Nations break. Toronto's been the faster team in first periods. They've gotten out in front. Let's see if Carolina can reverse that.
In the words of Vin Scully, what's interesting to note here, the home teams have won both games by an identical 6-3 score. However, the game here, Jordan Staal had a hat trick. And the Canes captain comes into this one 2 goals shy of 300 as you see Eric Robinson give chase as the Canes getting to that forecheck. Tyson Jostes move over to the middle for this line of Roslovic with Robinson. And now it's the Leafs going to work here. Kelly Yarncroke throws this behind the Canes net. Jacob Slavin with an opportunity. His pass a little too far for the captain, and that'll be icing on Carolina and a chance to get a look at the keys to smoke in the competition.
Well, can Carolina win their 32nd home game of the year? Repeat the early jump. I already mentioned how impressive it was against the Rangers yesterday that Carolina got in front of the game like they did. And they had impact from all 4 lines. on the score sheet when you look at it, but beyond the score sheet. And that guy, Logan Stankoven, I thought had his best game as a Hurricane.
Well, he has continued to impress with every game as Stankoven will flip this one into the corner. Stahl goes after it behind the net for Carrier, who did not look like he missed 39 games this season, getting back into the lineup yesterday as this puck is wired into the Canes bench. Bob Gorman making sure he stays off the injuries and scratches list trip.
2 pucks already into the Hurricanes bench, and Jordan Martinook, what a warrior. Scores the empty netter yesterday, and you've got to yank him out of the lineup and then some. Shane Gostisbehere, I think it's more of a precautionary upper body injury. Same with Jesperi Kokoniemi, lower body, and of course the long-term injury to Jesper Fast.
Now the Canes top line, that has been a monster of Aho, Blake, and Jarvis on the ice now. This puck was rattled into the Canes zone. It'll be cleared out and sent right back in.
I've often said, being the culinary foodie that Martinook is, you have to hide his equipment in one of his favorite restaurants to prevent him from playing. A true warrior.
Oh, without a doubt. He is. We talked about it yesterday. In a day and age when the term warrior is truly overused, it is correct to put Jordan Martinook in that category. Jalen Chatfield now get to this one behind the net for Jarvis. Jarvis, he stops and starts. And Simon Benoit tries to eliminate him from the play. And the Leafs will try to break out. Handling this one, Mitch Marner. What a season Marner's having. 98 points, 5th in the NHL in points, 3rd in assist with 72, and had a game-winning goal last night in overtime against Montreal.
And just a phenomenally cerebral play on the overtime winner in the Four Nations from Connor McDavid. That play so much was about what Mitch Marner did with his mind.
Svechnikov gets in, forcing Wall to give it up. Giving it to Taylor Hall back in the lineup today. That shot out in front. Wall makes the save, and he'll hang on.
Good shift there from Svechnikov to go low to high. Got a tip on the point shot. Speaking of bigger guys on the team, this Jesperi Kokoniemi skating over the weekend, and good to see, working with Tim Gleason. You don't know who's going to make the trip to Montreal and Ottawa. You may see some American League guys, and wow, what a year Chicago continues to have. Bradley Nadeau with his 30th goal last night for the Chicago Wolves. Skylar Brindamore's got 16. He scored last night.
Exactly what you wanted to see. Now almost a mix-up behind the net with Riley and Wall, but Toronto will survive that, but they'll ice this puck. It'll come right back into the Leaf zone.
Stanley Cup winning coach in St. Louis, Greg Berube. Truthfully, he's done exactly the job that you thought he'd do. And the Leafs right now leading the Atlantic Division. They're a different team though this year. They're better defensively, and they've got really good goaltending from Stolarz and Wall, who's going in this one.
49-26-4 on the season. As Svechnikov gets to this puck after Jankowski won the draw back. Riley tries to clear it out, kept in by Orlov. Go back around the boards. Good play there by Jankowski. Hall will work it back. Chatfield's shot doesn't get through. Blocked up top. And away comes the Leafs. Bobby McMahon into the corner. He'll be sealed off there, and that'll give Orlov a chance to chip it. Hall gets to it, and it'll bounce its way off of John Tavares, who is the definition of a Canes killer in his career. 30 goals, 26 assists, and 50 games played against Carolina.
He's had a flat-out good year, and I think these older players, the Four Nations break. You think about Stahl and Burns for the Hurricanes. Same with John Tavares. Really benefits veteran players in the second half of their 30s.
Now Carolina working this puck back into the Leaf zone. It'll be knocked back for Max Domi, who, of course, when we talk about playoff time, in 2022, had those 2 goals in Game 7 against the Boston Bruins to lead the Canes to the second round. Now Jarvis goes into the corner, trying to come away with the puck. Brandon Carlo, a member of that Bruins team that Domi had the 2 goals against. He was acquired at the trade deadline for Toronto to try to beef up their blue line. Canes now excellent work to keep it in. Blake with it. He'll shimmy with it, drop it back for Aho. Up top, Burns his shot. That doesn't get through. Rebound finds its way to Blake. Now Blake He'll send it across, looking for Jarvis's Aho. They had the tic-tac, but no toe.
I thought Aho should have maybe shot it.
Now Burns with it. Aho will shoot this one right out. Rebounds there. Slavin wants to get to it. It'll come out for Burns. Brent Burns drags it down low. Canes hanging on to the puck, and this one will be flipped over the glass off of Carlo, stopping action with 15:13 left here in the first.
The whole forechecking shift, and it was a 5-man shift, started with a really good Burns pinch. And this is where Aho, I thought, should have shot. But Wall had done a nice job of getting over, and then Aho made sure to shoot the second time. Good box out from Carlo. Slavin jumping, nearly got to a rebound. You can make it a hard back-to-back on the Leafs. You're only going to help yourselves. They played 5 defensemen last night. An eventual overtime win over Montreal. They played 5. That essentially never happens.
Did a good job if you go back and look, Trip, that they managed the minutes as much as they could in that game for their defense, knowing they were coming here. See if the Canes can get a jump. Roslovic goes into the corner. He'll come up high on Benoit. And Benoit, he'll go to the ice in some discomfort with 14:58 left here in the first. And it's going to be Jack Roslovic making his way to the penalty box.
Chris Rooney with the announcement.
Carolina 96, minor penalty, high sticking.
No injury on the play, so just a 2-minute power play. Roslovic's trying to get in and battle the puck. I think he was trying to go underneath Benoit's stick, but he came over top. And so the natural tendency, if you go under the stick, is that you're okay avoiding a high stick. Since he was over it, he's guilty of the high stick.
Well, it will send out the #1 penalty killing unit in the NHL. The Canes have killed off 193 of 230 short-handed opportunities this year. And now they'll find a way to clear this one out. Jankowski with Stahl. Jankowski drops it back for Stahl. 2 short-handed goals this year. And that one right on. And Wall makes the save and hangs on.
No Martinuk, so Jankowski starts it with the captain. What a highlight reel goal he scored. A 3-zone goal. In the initial stages of the third period, did Jordan Stahl score yesterday after Jankowski scored a beauty top cheese from Carrier in the second?
Well, Stahl will stay out here with Jankowski, and they'll keep this puck in the Leaf zone for a minute as the Toronto captain, Austin Matthews. He'll handle it, and Matthews, 10 power play goals this year. He'll drift and drop this one back for William Nylander. And that will be offside. And that'll be helpful to the Canes' cause here with a minute 33 left on the kill.
You've had some guys out of the lineup, and once you're in the playoffs, if you're in the playoffs, typically you have some of the most elite power plays in the game. And I think the critical piece is going to be, because Carolina's shorthanded identity is pressure, is picking with discipline your pressure points against some of the skill level that will be presented in power plays, hopefully, over the course of several rounds.
Now Nylander will work this as far as the Canes line. Jarvis with a good job to knock it out. Aho was looking for it, couldn't locate it. And now Matthews will lose it along the boards, and Marner's going to have to scoot to it as Jarvis is on him. And now Carolina doing a great job giving no quarter at their blue line for this Toronto power play, which is 6th overall in the NHL. And now finally Toronto will get to work. Marner draws for Tavares. Marner will send it down low. Nylander back up top. Marner through traffic. That goes over the top of the net. And behind the net it's Matthews. He'll try to step out. He'll get it to Nylander. He fans on the opportunity. And Burns with a chance to clear. And he will take that opportunity to send it 170 feet into the Leaf zone.
I think as Nylander was about to fire, Burns, playing into the shot, disrupted his shooting ability just enough that he looked up, and because of that, the puck rolled off his stick.
Stahl and Jankowski back up top with Orlov and Chatfield to try to kill the remaining 15 seconds, and they'll get a good opportunity here as it's winged back down into the Leaf zone. Riley has to sidestep Stahl. He will. 5 seconds left here in the kill. 7 minutes gone by here in the opening period. Out of the box comes Roslovic. No shots for the Leafs. And that is another textbook kill for Carolina this season. Going to work with the puck here is Bobby McMahon. Send this one across for Chris Tanev. Tanev, 188 blocks this year for the Leafs. That's what he does, is this puck worked into the Toronto zone.
I think it's an important kill because Washington got a couple power play goals. The Rangers got one from JT Miller. As A+ as the kill has been, you want to have the type of momentum you going in the playoffs you desire.
Now the Leafs will find their way into the Kane zone. Spinning with this opportunity is Lawton. Now out in front, and that shot rattles off the cage, and Yarncroke got that opportunity. Anderson might have got a piece.
I think he did. Heck of a job using the back of the net, anticipating Anderson side to side.
Now Svechnikov across, and that offering from Hall doesn't find its way through. Now Svechnikov has been noticeable here, Trip, in the first 8 minutes of this game. What you want to see, but back them the other way. Here come the Leafs. Possible 2-on-1. Anderson makes the save on Lawton.
Did you see what he did with his rebound? Committed to the shooter. He had a guy crashing on the 2-on-1. He turned over his leg at the last second on the glove side to make sure there wasn't a rebound there.
Now Blake, he'll feed it to Slavin, who's buzzing. His shot on the near side will be stopped and frozen right there by Wall. Now Frederik Andersen, he's looking for his 14th win of the season. There's the big save on Scott Lawton to keep this one scoreless.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Welcome back inside. Well, Will Carrier is back in the lineup. He returned yesterday for the first time after missing 39 games, and in doing so, he set a tone right from his first shift, throwing a big hit. He said he felt great out there. Rob Brittamore said it looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Will Carrier said from puck drop, his first shift, his plan was to go and engage physically, get that out of the way. He set a tone, and it was noticeable impact for the team, guys.
He was great, and it'll be a test for him in a back-to-back. He was just super. Like I said in the open of the broadcast, below the goal line in a variety of different ways yesterday against New York.
And looking ahead to the playoff series against the New Jersey Devils, where every game will be right here on FanDuel Sports Network. He is a difference maker in the postseason. You had that great talk with Alex Tuck of the Buffalo Sabres, who was teammates with him in Vegas. Told you what he can do, and now Carrier with a puck right on cue. Tries to lay that one back for Slavin. Slavin will send it around the boards for Stahl. He'll find Stankoven in his 100th NHL game here. Stankoven with the puck. He'll leave it there for Stahl. Now back down low. Carrier wanted to send it across for Slavin. It was interrupted. Slavin tried to return the feed, but Toronto will be able to get a stick to this one as Myers will send this down the ice, but it's icing on the Leafs.
Good defensive play by Mitch Marner. Yeah, Carrier, the words that Alex Tuck used that you mentioned were tenacity in the playoffs, and then he said don't lose sight of the fact he's been an underrated goal scorer in the playoffs. And really from the bottoms of the circles down in the New York end yesterday, but specifically below the goal line, he was beyond dangerous in unpredictable ways. And that beautiful assist to Jankowski.
Wins the draw back for Orlov. That'll be deflected. Rebound settled down by Jarvis. Spin it for Aho. Aho tries to step out from beneath the goal line. Loose puck will be carried away by Matthews. Nice stick by Orlov, though, as Matthews was looking to head into the Cane zone. He had to retreat back. Drop back for Tanev. Benoit completes some passes here, and Tavares will try to send this one in deep. Leafs trying to work a forecheck, but Chatfield able to work this up for Jarvis off the glass and out for Blake. A little too far, and Tanev has it. Blake, though, hounding him behind the net. Excellent work here by Jackson Blake. And again, this line might not be big in stature as Blake out at the side of the net. There's that one knocked away. Jarvis with it. They play big. Now Blake with it. He will run into Benoit there, and he'll be dislodged from the puck. And Nylander will skate this into the Cane zone. Watched by Orlov. He'll stop. Looking for options. He'll leave it for Tavares. He'll send this one for Carlo. Right back for Tavares. Everybody will wave at it along the boards. Better look at Chatfield playing it. Almost intercepted there by Nylander, but it's Jankowski skating it free. Jankowski, he'll cross the Toronto blue line. He'll carry it. Indeed. He'll circle behind the net, waiting to make a play. He'll leave it. Try to get the return feed from Svechnikov. Instead, it's Burns with a shot. And Wall will deflect that one to the boards. Slavin will jump in on it. He'll wave it back into the corner. Domi. He plays this off the boards. Chance to clear by Dakota Mermis, who's had an adventure this year. As puck is batted down after it's in the bench. 8:48 left in the first. Still zeros on the board.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $150 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 to 3.8 to 9.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Canes fans, be sure to join your fellow Caniacs at the next Canes watch party. All the fun begins at 7 on Wednesday night, April 16th at the Carolina Ale House in Garner. The Canes will be on the road to visit the Montreal Canadiens. Each watch party features the Canes road game broadcast on TVs throughout the restaurant. Meet Stormy and the Winterworld Canes crew at Carolina Ale House just off Highway 70 in Garner. So come on out and get everyone pumped up for the playoffs. Visit hurricanes.com/watchparty.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
We're back here in Raleigh. I want to look at a couple of the plays Aho made yesterday leading to goals. Puck protection on Schneider. Very impressive. Gets it to Jarvis, who used the points, and eventually Chatfield scores with his Stankova net presence. This one I love. Tempting to go to the middle of the ring. Long second period change. No. Go back deep. Allow Blake to do his thing. Jarvis to do his thing. Blake to follow it up. All because of Aho's decision. And it's tempting to go to the middle of the ice there at that offensive blue line. And teams will kill you with their transition. They'll pick off passes, and they'll have numbers the other way. He made a winning play. And that's especially a winning puck management play in the postseason.
Now the Canes now trying to get that puck management here in the Toronto end, but it'll bounce for Morgan Riley. And quickly get it across for Myers. It'll be knocked down, though. Nice play by Walker. Walker edging his way in. Saddled down by Svechnikov. And a big save by Wall. Svechnikov to the rebound. It'll kick to Jankowski. He tries to locate Hall, but this will be flipped out to center ice. Pawed back down by Walker. That all started by Walker and almost finished by Svechnikov. And again, this game is just about 12 minutes old, and Andrei Svechnikov trip has had 3 noticeable shifts.
I think that there have been building block moments at times against Washington and yesterday against the Rangers, and certainly here in this first period. Being able to go from his glove to his stick with that penetration, Wall's best save of the game so far.
Chatfield bangs this one off the boards. It'll be sent back in the Kane zone. Orlov, though, smartly works this one free. Or Roslovic. He'll bank it for Robinson. Back for Orlov. Roslovic behind the net. Chatfield lets it go. That deflects off of wall. Jost was out in front looking for the rebound. Yarncroke looks to clear. Knocked down by Roslovic, but the Leafs are able to get to it. They need to change up, so this will just be dumped into the Kane zone.
How about congratulations to the puck carrier, Dmitry Orlov, on his 250th assist that you mentioned yesterday on the radio call.
As another banner year, 6 goals, 21 assists for the Canes.
His best hockey last year was in the playoffs,
yes,
especially after Brett Pesce got hurt. He played a ton yesterday. You can see he's ramping right up.
Stahl runs into Tanev. This puck comes out, and Matthews, he tries a long stretch pass looking for Nyes. That was denied, but a second opportunity to send this one in. Anderson goes out to get a touch to play it away from his good friend Austin Matthews, and the Canes bang this one off the glass into the Leaf zone. Tanev will get to it. Carrier's watching him. 6:35 left here in the opening period, as Nyes will roll this one into the Kane zone. Both teams changing up. They'll take advantage as you get a better look at Jacob Slavin making the play to ease this one out. He hands it to Orlov, to Aho. Aho flow into the Toronto zone. The Orlov drive knocked down, side of the net. Blake, he takes a whack at it, and Wall has to be ready again.
Did Aho ever rev it up in the neutral zone? I really think that he's not worn down late in this regular season, that he has been, because he invests so much in the game, has used so much. Speed through the neutral zone, finds Orlov. Puck hits a Toronto skate, and Blake locates it and just about scores. Wall has made 2 really good low saves. One on the other side on Svechnikov, and that one on Blake. Textbook, that skate from Wall right up against the post with authority. Good chance.
What a play there by Blake, too, to not close the glove on it, knock it down, and still almost get the chance. And Wall's made a couple of big saves in this one. Now off the draw, it's Aho! And that might be Wall's best save off of the one-timer. Let's get a look at our Bet365 Canes live bet anytime goal scorer. Jackson Blake came close there. Nice little payoff here for everyone on a Sunday.
He's been scoring recently, but since Christmas he comes close when you look at chances every night. Every night. That's how consistently dangerous he's been.
Brendan Moore's talked about how he drives the line. And this line, since being put together, and in particular the last 2 games with Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho, they have truly driven the offensive play. Now they'll come up with the puck here. Jarvis ran into Tanev. This will roll around. Chatfield jumps up. Blake wants to get to it. Tanev trying to play it away. He will for Benoit. Nice play there by Jarvis. We'll swap this one out into the slot. Again, these 2 keeping all the pressure on. Now Orlov comes up with a steal. Orlov will stop. He looks for an option out in front, deflected away by Wall. Leafs still trying to clear this one out. Nylander send Jarvis off of him with a stiff arm. And the Leafs will send this one out to center ice. Blake will play it up. Jarvis will tip it to Aho. Aho takes a look back for Jarvis. Short side. Wall makes the save. Couldn't hang on to it. Second chance. He will, denying Seth Jarvis there. 5:24 left in the first. Canes with a better play, but no goals.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Barbecue season is back.
Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1. Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Well, two coaches who have the utmost respect for each other. Craig Berube of the Leafs, and Toronto has a 9-season active playoff streak, and there are the Canes at 7 every year that Rod Brind'Amour has been behind the Canes bench. They've made it to the postseason. As you get a look to the up to the second Eastern Conference, Canes are locked in to play the Devils. Leafs are trying to hang on and win the Atlantic. The Blue Jackets are the only team on the outside still with a chance to jump in. They need a lot of help to get there, as the Canadians have a 5-point lead there as you look at these two former teammates. And now they are coaching behind the bench against each other. And you mentioned it earlier, Trip. What a job that Craig Berube has done with the Leafs. Came here to do exactly what they've done. And Scott Morrow, looking for his second NHL goal, has that one deflected away, and Toronto can clear it as far as center. It goes off of Morrow's skate. It'll be carried in, and a backhand chance from Lawton goes behind the net. Roslovic wants to get to it. Morrow will, and this will be cleared.
Good read by Morrow. He's played really well. He told me the biggest area he thinks he's grown in working with Tim Gleason is his gaps, but he just made a really good decision to go across the ice for the breakout.
Now Jost behind the net. And again, what a job Tim Gleason has done with the defensive core and bringing in guys and getting them up to speed right away.
I talked to Scott before the game about the different reads he makes at the offensive blue line that you can't teach. There, he's up against the wall on the goal line in his own end, and it's the board outlet is clogged.
Yeah.
So he makes a tape-to-tape pass across the ice.
You got to peek there at Tim Gleason. See, he still has the same stare he had as he was a player when he's behind the bench.
Former Toronto Maple Leaf, plays an outdoor game, a Winter Classic with Toronto.
I remember his first game back after being dealt to the Leafs, seeing him in the blue was weird, to say the least. Now behind the net, the Canes trying to come up with the puck. Svechnikov, he will try to step away from Holmberg, and fans want a call there. Holmberg tries to play it up the boards, can't, as Orlov was there. Second chance for Jankowski. He'll find Svechnikov, that'll be chopped at by Holmberg. Holmberg looking to clear, and he'll get Nylander, who'll just backhand this one to the Canes blue line.
It's been a good period for Svechnikov. You've remembered probably every one of his shifts.
Now Chatfield, he'll carry it in. Smart play to send it into the corner where Carrier rolls it around. Stankoven will come up with it. What a move by Stankoven. He's got real estate sending it across. That shot deflected down. Stankoven will glove it. He'll get it to the stick. Now Tanev chops at it. Carrier behind the net. Aho will come out. He'll play it back for Slavin. Now Brent Burns looking for some action. He'll get it back. Slavin right back to Burns, who will drift behind the net beneath the goal line. Out in front, that goes off the skate of Carrier. Carrier tries a sharp angle off of Wall to Slavin. Now Stankoven, he's going to be sealed off by Benoit. Behind the net for Tanev. Burns jumps up, takes out Nylander, but the Leafs are able to knock this back into the Kane zone, bring the puck back. That's icing on the Leafs.
Some tired Leafs, too, that can't change. Stankoven is carried yesterday right into the first period today. You know, he's playing with a different line. Yesterday it was with Stahl and Marduk, and, you know, when you have the skill level that he does, but then the compete and the desire to be a complete player, you're cooking. He just had another really good shift.
Canes win the draw back. It's Orlov. He gets the deflection out in front, and it goes on top of Wall's net off of the glass, and that'll get a whistle. 2:33 left in the first. That's a break for the Leafs.
And as Stankoven was doing his thing, Will Carrier was planted, legally so, just outside the Toronto crease. And now they're chatting. This is wonderful to see.
Yeah.
They both know what their strengths are. And Carrier, I mean, he was planted. Aho was on the ice. It was a partial change. I think Stankoven was trying to find a jumping Burns. Instead it got to Aho. Had it gotten to Burns, it probably would have been a better chance after that one-on-one move Logan had.
The Canes' forecheck this period has been suffocating. And they'd like to carry that into the 2025 playoffs, which are almost here. Secure your tickets to watch the Canes quest for the Cup. All you have to do is go to hurricanes.com/tickets to find out more on this one, as the Canes will take on the New Jersey Devils in the first round. Game 1 will be here at Lenovo Center, and if you can't be here, you can watch them all on FanDuel Sports Network. Every single first round game. Chip Tracy, Shane Willis, Anna Yates, yours truly.
Health is first and foremost, and you don't know how many guys you'll rest in Canada this week, but you want to be at home as much as you can.
Absolutely.
When you look at, Toronto and Tampa and Florida and that log jam in the East.
Yeah. Again, another thing I'll just throw out, if you have been a fan of the NHL, every year there's an upset in the first round. Every year. Here comes Stahl. I can't think of the last time that the chalk made it all the way through. Now here comes Nyes with a shot right on. Rebound! After Anderson, Riley couldn't get to it. Follow-up opportunity. Anderson hugs the post. He'd only seen one shot in the first 18 minutes, and there he sees two in about 5 seconds.
Well, he's made two excellent 2-on-1 saves committed to the shooter. One made one earlier to make sure to avoid a rebound try. And Nyes is the hottest finisher right now for Toronto. Just had a hat trick. He's got 4 goals in his last 5 games.
Now Jost with it. Try to step away from Lawrence. Side of the net opportunity. Whacked at there by Robinson. Save made by Wall behind the net. It'll kick away. Played away from Lawrence. Jost will get it back to the point. Morrow looks to get it through. That deflects. And an opportunity for Tanev to clear. Can't do it. Jost will keep it in. Final minute here of the first period. Robinson, it'll be chipped behind the net. And gotten to by Roslovic. Roslovic, he'll turn. Send it across, looking for Robinson. He'll play it off the boards. Morrow will skate in across. Roslovic tries to go short side, and Wall might have gotten a shoulder, but elevated high off the glass. And
what a pass by Morrow.
Right on the tape. And now here's a chance for Morrow. He gets it in deep. Robertson. He'll work it around, and the Leafs can break out. Now skittering with this one is Robertson out in front and looking for the deflection with 20 seconds left. That shot blocked out. And that's stung out front. The Leafs will get a bounce in the score. Pontus Holmberg on a ricochet. Knocks that one home. And Tyson Jost has been in a little bit of discomfort as the Leafs take advantage. It's 1-0 Toronto late in the first.
This could be a double whammy. Jost in a ton of pain. And Morgan Riley, with 5 defensemen, played 25 minutes last night. He bought time to allow the net front to materialize. You have the initial shot. Riley makes a heck of a play. Robertson follows it up. But you have to love the net front that Robertson had before Holmberg finishes, but I thought that play was all about Morgan Riley and buying time. 5 defensemen for Toronto last night. He played 25 minutes. What a heck of a play. And the Hurricanes recently have been guilty of a trend of giving up goals late in periods. They won yesterday, but they gave up a late second period goal to Cooley. They gave up that Dubois late first period goal. They gave up a late goal, a couple of late goals in Boston, so they want to buck that trend.
7th goal of the season for Holmberg. Canes, though, have an offensive zone draw late as the Leafs ice the puck off of the draw. Toronto will be able to come up with this one. Can't clear it. Burns bangs it back down low, trying to center this opportunity, but the Leafs will knock this away, and that's how the first period comes to a close. Our first period intermission report. We'll talk with William Carrier back in action for the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, high fives to start. Canes need to get some smiles, though, as they trail 1-0 after 1. General Manager Eric Tulsky will join Tripp and I here in the booth. We'll talk to him and talk about this game coming up next.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice. All kinds of beers with more reasons for cheers. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on all our beers and wines. what you find.
Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly.
Interest rates have plummeted. It's time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. If you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks, and most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at this, Loan Pronto. LoanPronto.com or call 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center, 1-0 Toronto after 20 minutes. Unfortunate because it was a dominant first period for Carolina. Everything but the goal, and then right before the death, Pontus Holmberg jumps on a rebound of a shot, and there he is. It is 1-0. Third goal of the season against the Hurricanes for Pontus Holmberg, and here is somebody with just, 7 goals on the year, but 3 of them are against Carolina. This is the third and final meeting between these two teams, and this game is not insignificant in terms of the standings for home ice advantage, possibly in an Eastern Conference Finals. Carolina comes into play today 3 points behind Toronto, but just in front of both Florida and Tampa, just in case one of the Florida teams comes out of the Atlantic side and the Hurricanes are still standing. So many opportunities for Carolina to dent the scoreboard, just haven't been able to get it done. There were back-to-back catches and drops to the feet that nearly went. Andrei Svechnikov first, then it was Jackson Blake. Each time Joseph Woll came up with the saves. Carolina really has lived in Toronto's end. About 2 minutes ago, the Maple Leafs had just 2 shot attempts in the entire period, but they've got the goal and the Hurricanes do not. We'll listen to highlights next.
Hey Hurricanes fans, it's game day, and Harris Teeter knows your party is just as important as the game. With mouth-watering wings, delicious dips, pre-ordered party platters to please any crowd, and not to mention the best pizzas, ribs, and ready-to-grill pub burgers in town. Only Harris Teeter can deliver delicious as you huddle up with family and friends to celebrate. Set a reminder to order ahead if you need party platters, and make Harris Teeter your pre-game stop before the next game. Harris Teeter, where Hurricanes fans shop for their delicious game day.
Canes fans, something big is happening this season. Our favorite hometown technology giant, Lenovo, is celebrating 20 years in the Triangle, and we're all getting in on the fun. Grab your jersey and meet us at the Lenovo Center, the new name of the home arena of the Carolina Hurricanes. The Lenovo Center is just a slap shot away from Lenovo's headquarters in the Triangle. Come celebrate and cheer on the Canes this season at the Lenovo Center.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Highlights time on the Lenovo Intermission Report. Lenovo is the official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes, 1-0 Toronto. And these first period highlights are brought to you by Kia. Even though Toronto didn't have much action in front of Frederick Anderson, they had a pretty good chance here. 2-on-1, Scott Lawton with the puck.
Back to the other way. Here come the Leafs. Possible 2-on-1. Anderson makes the save on Lawton.
Did you see what he did with his rebound? Committed to the shooter. He had a guy crashing on the 2-on-1. He turned over his leg at the last second on the glove side to make sure there wasn't a rebound there.
Carolina would have plenty of chances in the period. I mentioned earlier there were a couple of catch and drops and tries. Here's the second one from Jackson Blake.
Warlock drive knocked down. Side of the net. Blake, he takes a whack at it. Wall has to be ready again.
And Joseph Walls played a good period. Frederick Anderson late. Matthew Nyes and Austin Matthews trying.
Nyes with a shot right on rebound. Pepper Anderson, Riley couldn't get to it. Follow-up opportunity. Anderson hugs the post. He'd only seen one shot in the first 18 minutes, and there he sees two in about 5 seconds.
Well, he's made two excellent 2-on-1 saves committed to the shooter.
Yeah, and then later on in the sequence, we're really counting down the seconds of the period. And there's a shot, a rebound, and a Pontus Holmberg.
And that's started up from the Leafs who get a bounce in the score. Pontus Holmberg on a ricochet knocks that one home. And Tyson Jost has been in a little bit of discomfort as the Leafs take advantage. It's 1-0 Toronto late in the first.
This could be a double whammy. Jost in a ton of pain.
Yeah, you don't want to see any injuries this late in the season. Holmberg, 7th of the season, 3rd against the Hurricanes. If the Hurricanes get a power play and score on that power play by putting the biscuit in the basket, you can get a free Boatberry biscuit at participating Bojangles tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time. Walt Ruff, next.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge is back.
Oh, yeah, baby!
And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends and see if you can predict this year's playoffs. Can you pick the perfect bracket and claim the ultimate prize? A trip to a 2025-26 NHL event. Sign up today for a chance to win exclusive prizes at nhl.com/bracket.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center, 1-0 Toronto after one period. This is the Lenovo Intermission Report. We're joined by Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. If you're Rod Brindamore, are you happy with the way you saw the first period?
Yes. The late goal leaves a sour taste for sure, but much more positive than negative in that frame. I know you don't want to give that one up, but you have plenty of reason to be optimistic for the final 40 of regulation.
Yeah, I mean, I would even consider the period dominant.
Yeah.
You just don't get the goal. I mean, there were a couple of, I don't know that there were any how did you not score type of opportunities, but you had plenty of chances.
The only one that comes to mind for me was the segment of overpassing in the offensive zone early in the frame. I think it was Aho looking backdoor to Jarvis. Dakota Murmas cut him off in front.
Right.
It's like, just wire it.
Yeah, I'd like to see Sebastian shoot a little bit more.
And it feels like we've seen a little bit more than usual of that as of late.
Well, I mean, he's on an assist run.
Yeah.
Right? So he's been Mr. Setup lately, but he does. Tripp always likes to say that Teuvo Teravainen would become more dangerous as a playmaker when he establishes the shot.
Right.
Like to see that from Sebastian. There's been a lot of discussion as we get to the end of this regular season about the lineups. Which are the 12 forwards that are going to be in? There's no chance that Andrei Svechnikov isn't going to be among the 12 forwards. But on the goal, if you're not scoring, you can't let Pontus Holmberg cruise to the front of the crease. And that's what Andre did.
Classic example of puck watching, is it not, right? I mean, understandably so. A couple of the eyes went toward Tyson Jost, who was down in a whole lot of pain, but until you hear that whistle, the play goes on, and you go back and watch the replay a time or two, and that's a tough one there for Andre, but you know he's going to want to get it back for the group.
Let's see him. Let's see some real Andre over the last couple of periods. What are your thoughts on what we have seen over the last, I shouldn't even say 2 weeks, last 2 months from Aho, Blake, and Jarvis?
A huge jolt forward. It was, talking about establishing the lineup, you needed something like that to materialize, right? Because we know that come next week and beyond, you're going to have that identity line, presumably, of Martinook, stall and either, as we talked about yesterday, Carrier or a goal scorer. You have that ability to diversify, but okay, how do the rest of the puzzle pieces fall in line? Those three are just dogs up top. I know they're not the biggest line in the world. We've had a lot of conversation about that, but they hunt pucks well. They go to the hard areas of the ice. Jackson Blake and Seth Jarvis specifically, and smaller guys, but they go into the corners. They go to the front of the net. And then you have Sebastian Aho's world-class vision to try and make stuff happen, but like to see that shot come with it too. Yeah. And I'll make it even more dangerous, right, to bring it full circle.
Hey, look, we're very demanding, especially when he's basically your best all-around player. The thing about when I look at Blake has always been a confident player. And I was talking about this, I went into a little bit of a spiel on the podcast about it. There's like the phrase, fake it till you make it. Mm-hmm. Blake's always been confident, and I put it into a football context. Baker Mayfield was always confident, carried himself with confidence, even though the production really wasn't there. Then the production started to come, and now the confidence is justified. And I think Blake has gone from I know I can to you know I can. The development from him from November to where we are today, stunning.
As a proud Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, you were speaking music to my ears. I wasn't expecting to hear Baker Mayfield's name during this segment, but here we are. I can tell you it's spot on, though, right?
Yeah.
There is no faking it with Jackson Blake. He is authentically himself. There's no panic in his game. When the puck is on his stick or when he's trying to make a play, he's not looking to, oh my goodness, get it off my tape. Like some of the standard things we see from rookies as they're trying to adjust to the NHL game. He's making plays that you just don't see other young players make. I mean, even in that period alone, there was the chipped up puck right beside Joseph Wally. Brings it down and quickly bats it home. Like, he's not just trying to, I got possession of the puck, let me see what else I can do with it. He's like, I'm going to get possession and try and score. It's that one extra that he just pounds home very well and does such a good job with it.
Have you liked Freddie Anderson this period?
Yeah, he got some help from the post behind him there on the one attempt, but, not a ton of work. I guess 4 shots on goal as the scoreboard shows, but there was the 2-on-1 stop on Scott Lawton that really, so that you had to have it. Same thing with yesterday's game. Pyotr Kochetkov had that early save. The game goes sideways early if you don't get it.
No question about it. Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com, content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. Next time we're here, playoffs.
Wow.
Dress accordingly.
Okay.
You do. You always do. I never do. We'll be back with a check of the NHL scoreboard after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
He's setting up the play at Penn Station East Coast Subs.
Can I get a 6-inch hot-grilled Italian sub?
He shoots.
Should I grab a bag of chips?
Nope. All our subs come with fresh-cut fries.
He scores! Everybody wins at Penn Station East Coast Subs with hot grilled subs for pickup or delivery. Fresh cut fries. 5 convenient triangle locations. You're set up for a great meal any day when you do it the Penn Station way. Check out the menu and order online today at penn-station.com.
Child abuse. It happens in all communities. Learning to spot the signs of abuse and knowing how to report it can save a child's life. Children's Advocacy Centers of North Carolina supports over 50 centers statewide, providing hope and healing to young victims of abuse, neglect, and trauma. Join us in the fight against child abuse. Visit cacnc.org to learn more. That's cacnc.org.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Adam Gold here with the Lenovo Intermission Report. 1-0 Toronto after 1 period. Let's get a first period scoreboard brought to you by Cardinal Apparel, proud partner and t-shirt provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Bruins with a 3-1 lead, middle of the third period in Pittsburgh. Couple of former Hurricanes with goals there. Morgan Geeky's 32nd goal of the season, and Elias Lindholm has his 17th. Couple of finals from earlier today. Ottawa wins again in overtime over Philadelphia 4-3. Bo Horvat, the only goal as the Islanders went to New Jersey and beat the Devils 1-0. New Jersey on 89 points, And, by the way, Ottawa's at 94. Ottawa would have home ice advantage over the Devils if those two teams made it all the way to the conference finals. That is remarkable what the Senators have done. But right now it's the Hurricanes trailing 1-0. Pontus Holmberg, his 7th goal of the season, 3rd against the Canes this year in 3 games. He is the difference in this one. Freddie Anderson hasn't faced a lot of rubber. I think he's actually been pretty good. Hurricanes out shooting Toronto 11-4 in the frame. Carolina will need more from... they've actually created plenty of offense. Just going to have to find one to get past Joseph Wall, but it's an important game for the Hurricanes. You want to see if you can keep ahead of Florida and Tampa, if not catch Toronto for the second best record in the East. I am Adam. We will see you after 2. Mike and Tripp will have the second period next.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
It's tough these days to find healthy and fast, but at Alpaca, you'll find both. From our all-natural charcoal-fired chicken, cooked using Peruvian spices, to our made-to-order dishes like arroz chapa, with sausage, chicken, or completely vegetarian, we have something for every diet. So take a break today. Come in or find us online for catering or to place a pickup order. Family-owned and local. Make it a Peruvian night. Make it Alpaca.
The best cocktails are made with Tito's handmade vodka. Now hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like this, a perfectly spiced Tito's Bloody Mary is more like a cocktail with Tito's. Always a hit. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Shot that goes off the glass, and Jost will get to the rebound. He'll turn. He's got some room to work with. He'll leave it for Robinson. His second shot, that'll deflect, and that fells Riley. Ooh, he's in a little bit of discomfort. Carolina works it back for Orloff. Around the horn it goes. Chatfield. Try to keep it in. Good work by Chatfield. He'll play it to himself now as he'll dive in. He'll work across. Jost snaps a shot. That's just wide of the net of Wall. Now Jost, he'll lay his shoulder in and keep it in. Orlov now across to Burns. Burns flips one. That goes wide. Penalty coming up to Toronto. As Carolina sends Anderson to the bench for the extra attacker. Burns will keep this one in. Down low. Jost back for Burns. Gaines working this methodically. It's Aho. He'll get it back. Slavin. Back for Aho. Aho's side of that. Jost tries the one-timer but misfires, and the Leafs touch up Carolina getting a power play.
We're utilizing the defensemen, working in a line change. That's what draws
51 Toronto, minor penalty interference.
That draws Carolina's first power play of the game, and the interference occurred right in front of Joseph Wall in front. Myers guilty of it. And so Toronto had the only power play in the first period. The Hurricanes will get the first man advantage of the second.
As It is a cash pop power play. But the Leafs will win the draw and send this one all the way back into the Cane zone.
We know how deadly Carolina is shorthanded offensively. Marner was looking not for a clear there. He was looking for a pass that would have led to a breakaway. So beware.
The Leafs have a bunch of players with shorthanded goals. Matthews leads the way with 2. But 6 different players have tallied shorthanded for Toronto. Now Hall with it. They'll leave this one for Jarvis. Jarvis into the corner. Fighting off a couple of Leafs. He'll bang it to Blake. His pass intended for Hall, intercepted by Matthews, and he'll roll this back down on Anderson. And already 50 seconds have gone by in this power play. Carolina, 25th ranked power play in the league. They'd love to get it humming. As Burns now gets this one for Blake. Blake back up top for Burns. A one-timer, that'll be issued, and that'll be hammered around the boards. As Jarvis was looking to connect on that one.
Jarvis has gotten to the point on the umbrella with that one-timer. Even if a goaltender has a clean look at it, he can score.
Now Stankoven with it. He'll leave this back. Svechnikov through traffic, and that doesn't miss by much. Rebound back to the Canes forward. He'll play it for Morrow. Morrow walking to the middle. He'll hand this one across. Jost. Now Roslovic back for Morrow. Stankoven wanted it. It's batted away, and the Leafs will knock this into the Cane zone. And there's 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Morrow takes the handoff from Anderson. His pass bounces off of the stick of Jost, and now Benoit will carry this one to center and fire it in. And out of the box soon will come Myers. And the Canes are 0 for 1 on the man advantage. They didn't get anything on Wall. Now the puck back into the Leaf zone. Stankoven trying to get to it. Tries to jump around Tanev and Benoit, but this one will work its way back. 16-15 left here in this second period. Canes trailing 1-0.
You know, I think both power plays in terms of generating chances would be disappointed. Toronto in the first there, Carolina, but Jarvis's one-timer was a good look. Didn't miss by much, it seemed, to the glove.
Now Robinson puts it out in front, and Carrier got to it. Second attempt goes through the top of the crease. Walker jumps in to make the play. He'll try to go short side. It'll bounce all the way across. That drive goes high. Walker jumps in. He'll continue to keep it. He's got Slavin at the point if he wants him. Tries to get it back. Slavin will keep it into Walker. Walker wants to go down low. Pressure there by Tavares. Leafs will clear. Nylander to Tavares. Chipped into the Cane zone. Back to get it is Walker. He'll clear it out. Robinson deflects this for Stahl, but it's too far. Icing against Carolina.
Will Carrier was in our opener, and I saw him when he was walking in tonight, and I said, how do you feel? He said, well, back-to-back is going to be a test. He has to be very pleased because he has continued to be noticeable like he was yesterday. Beats Nylander to the front of the net and has a pretty decent chance on the doorstep. You know, that's going to do wonders for his confidence. You know, one, knowing he's healthy, but two, it's tough to come off the shelf and play in a back-to-back.
It's tough to play back-to-back when you're not on the shelf.
It's tough to broadcast a back-to-back.
I think we got a little bit easier. We don't have to get running to the boards. Unless you want to start doing that.
I know my mind drifts once I hit my 50s. Here comes Carrier.
As Carrier will lower the shoulder. He'll work his way around Mermis in Carlo. Referee wipes out. Canes will try to take advantage. Orlov misfires. And now it's McMahon coming the other way. Good job by Orlov to dip the shoulder. Then he finishes off McMahon, and the Canes will clear as no chance comes of that opportunity. Now a nice play, set, drop back, Svechnikov drops it for Hall, looking for Jankowski.
He's got to shoot there. He's a shooter in that spot. A heck of an entry from Hall to create that Svechnikov chance.
The Leafs will just roll this one in. Nick Robertson, watched by Chatfield. He'll play it around the boards. Morgan Riley, side step, work his way down low. Sent back across. Mitch Marner. Watched by Chatfield, and Chatfield, nice job defensively. He gets it out to Jankowski. Now a chance here. Low drive is going to be snagged on the Hall offering.
Angels are here with cash prizes.
Passing that puck, not shooting it. He had a power play chance at this end of the second period. Just tells me he's still overthinking. Drags it. You know, if he continues to drag, the defenseman's committed. His shooting angle gets better. I just think needs to be a shooter's mindset.
Not going to disagree with you on that one, partner. As this one is fired down the ice by Tanev. Let's bring it back into the Leaf zone. 6 minutes gone by here in the second. 1-0 Toronto.
And we often talk about, and Rod, most importantly, has mentioned holding on to pucks. If he holds on to that puck and continues to drag it to the inside, his shot's more dangerous. He's got the goaltender moving from right to left, which goalies do not like to move side to side because you lose your angle. Your shot becomes more deadly. Just continue to hold on to it for a split second longer before firing.
Now the Kings do a good job keeping this one in stall. We had that hat trick against the Leafs going all the way back in January here in this building. By the way, the captain just 2 goals away from 300 for his career. Now, Nice tries to play this one around Slavin, can't do it. Sent back in, and Jarvis goes puck hunting on Tanev. He'll be able to play that one free. Marner off the boards to Matthews. Matthews, he'll send it across for Tanev. That'll roll. Back down low, Matthews lets it go. Marner steps into Sebastian Aho. Aho will try to tie up Nyes. He will. He'll clear it out. Jarvis with it. He'll go cross corner. Stankoven needed to make a change as Blake jumps on. Carlo up the boards and out for the Leafs. As this is dumped back in the Kane zone, and Tavares.
That looked like a horsepower.
Slow to get up is Chatfield. And if this is the NFL, that might have been a 15-yard penalty. 12:55 left here in the second period, and this Jalen Chatfield, John Tavares tangled up.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $150 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds winning range from 103.8 to 9.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey Caniacs! As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, the local team at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses across the Research Triangle. Our families live here and contribute to our communities, so we have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/canes for a free home or business security assessment. That's vectorsecurity.com/canes.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Respectful, conducive environment in
Welcome back inside, where we just heard from Canes general manager Eric Tulsky in the first intermission interview with Mike and Tripp on the signing of Alex Nikishin. We don't know exactly when he will arrive stateside, but when he does, he will already have friendships with the current 3 Russians on this team. He played in a charity game overseas this past summer against them. KHL players taking on NHL players overseas in Russia. Had the chance to play against them. They really noticed his physicality, and then they all had dinner afterwards. Really liked him as a person as well, guys.
No, that is one of the things that can make his transition to this league easier, having people here who he knows, being able to talk the language. Right now the Canes are concerned with getting an equalizer here as Anderson makes a save and hangs on.
And one of those guys in that picture is Dmitry Orlov, and you know, I see a guy that led the Hurricanes defense in ice time yesterday. He's a veteran guy, he's a Stanley Cup winner. played his best hockey as a Hurricane last year in the playoffs, in particular when now New Jersey Devil Brett Pesce went down. He's getting himself ready.
All right, now the Canes trying to clear the puck here, get a little offense in this second period as Blake with a little stick sorcery there to deflect it to himself and get it in deep where Jarvis will come up with it. Jarvis wants to center it, he does, but it's knocked away and Tavares will come away with it. Tavares, he is knocked off course by Orlov, and his puck rolls in and Carlo and Jarvis fight for it. Good look at Jarvis jumping to the inside. Can he make a play to Blake? Yes, he can. Blake has it knocked away by Domi. Jarvis was right there, but deflected out over the Toronto blue line. Now Morrow with a hard rim. Wall couldn't settle it. Carlo, he's stepped into by Robinson. Robinson had his stick taken away by Tavares for a moment. Now Morrow jumps in on the play. It's worked back. Canes trying to get it to the slot. Wall ready. Now Morrow trafficked out in front. He sends it to the side of the net. Wall gets across, and that one didn't make its way to the intended target. Canes with good pressure here, and all Riley can do is flip this one all the way back. Anderson has to play it.
That was going to be icing. I don't think Scott Morrow realized it, so he changed his route. And it was like the linesman was waiting for him to make the judgment who was going to get to the puck first, and the linesman made the right call and nullified it.
Now Jost wins the battle at center ice to get this back into the Leaf zone, and Benoit doesn't clear all of it, so a chance for the Canes to keep it. Orlov dives in. Lawton tries to pin him against the boards. He will, and this puck finds its way to Simon Benoit.
12-5 the shots on goal, and this has by far been the most defensively dialed in the season series both of these teams have been.
Now Svechnikov with it. And the Canes, even though the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, they have the better of the play. Now Stankoven with it. They'll try to go behind the net. He's watched there by Mermis. Dakota Mermis and Stankoven fight. Logan Stankoven will keep chipping for it, but it'll be worked out by Marner.
We know what Carolina is defensively. They've given up 5 shots, but that's where Toronto's different.
Yeah.
And some of it's the buy-in from their forwards and their core group. And improvements on the blue line, big improvements in goal. They have a different defensive identity.
Now give away Stankoven with it, and Mermis gets a stick. He'll deflect that one over the glass into the netting.
I think it was Matthews there, one of their star guys that makes the play. Scott Morrow just made another really heady play trying to find a guy on the back door. And I said, things you can't teach in the offensive zone. He said, well, Cale Makar, I'm not Cale Makar, but he's a righty. He's a UMass product just like me. He's learned a lot watching him. And a guy he just played in John Carlson, another righty. The things he can spontaneously do inside that offensive blue line.
Face off, Jankowski against Matthews into the corner. That'll be backhanded, but through Jankowski and worked up for Matthews. Matthews trying to work around Burns. He rifles a shot that goes over the top of Anderson's net. Riley has it bounced to Matthews, and he'll kick that one over the blue line to Myers. Now back in, possible 2-on-1. Burns goes to a knee. Matthews sets it up. He'll get it right back and scores. Beautiful pass from Riley back to Matthews, and it's 2-0 Toronto with 9:40 left in the second.
The Leafs transition game with those 2 2-on-1s in the first, and this a transition play, has been very good. They may not have a lot of shots, but when you have the type of skill they do that can manifest in transition, you're in a tough spot. They come up with a puck in the neutral zone. Matthews plays a game of give and go. Riley's factored in on both goals, and significantly so. Goes back to Matthews on his offside. No chance for Anderson. And they've had just 6 shots, but their transition game has been deadly.
Now that's what the Leafs can do with that forward grouping. They don't need much to get it going. And now Carolina finds themselves down 2 goals here. A little bit more than halfway through this second period. Now the Leafs are going to scoot this one out again. Opportunity for Holmberg. And drive to the side of the net. Anderson makes the save. McMahon with the opportunity. That one will work its way off of Anderson back into the corner. And Bobby McMahon trying to play it. He'll be teamed up behind the net. Sent out in front. Robertson's shot and Anderson makes the save. Carolina will skate this one free. Roslovic around the boards. Robinson. He'll tip it back. That'll be Roslovic. Into the corner is Benoit. That'll be knocked out over the blue line. Carolina can reload. They've got it. It'll be offside, as Robinson didn't get to the bench in time. Coming up, we'll hear from the head coach of the Canes, Rod Brindamore. His team down 2-0 here in the second.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese. I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Welcome back inside Rod. Toronto now with 2 goals on just 8 shots. Defensively had been dialed. What have you seen here? How would you like to see your group
We were in the first, but now because we didn't score in the first, now we want to notice we have no shots because we're passing around, and then they go down and score. Like, we got to stick with what we're doing. We're not able to. Now we're chasing the game. The way Carolina pressures, which is a central part of their identity. If you're a little bit off with support and also puck management, teams with stars like Toronto, they're going to make you pay in transition, even if they don't have a ton of shots.
Well, it's more to the point now, if you're Carolina, that you don't pass up on the opportunity to shoot. And that's what Rod Brindamore is talking about here, and we'll see if the Canes can get a couple of pucks here on Joseph Wall as it's worked around. And a chance for Benoit to clear. They're going to say that Tavares got a touch, so no icing. Orlov has to play it. Nylander puts the body to him, but right up for Aho. Out of the zone it goes. Chatfield, he'll drop it back. Blake out in front. He had Chatfield with him, and Wall makes the save, and the Leafs, they'll just bat this one back into the Cane zone. One of the things now that you're taking a look that's different for Toronto, they do not have a problem icing the puck and taking defensive zone draws if the heat's on in their zone. Now Wall will roll this one back. Riley, it's stepped into by Stahl. Stankoven trying to come up with it. He'll play it back for Nyes. Nyes will chip it in. He'll roll it. Anderson plays it off the boards to Burns. He'll locate it forward. And now Stankoven chasing after it. Carlo. He's able to play it away from Stankoven. Back in, Mermis with it. He'll play it back for Carlo. Now it'll roll back in. Anderson knocks it down. He'll play it away from Matthews. Well, Matthews will come up with a loose puck behind the net. Marner tries the stuff chance. Back for Carlo. Carlo shot through traffic, kicked away, and that'll go over the glass into the net.
There's been a direct nature to Toronto's game that's led to the fact that they've been opportunistic. Tight turn from Matthews. We'll get to Marner's nice play in a second. Stops, doesn't loop. As soon as he gets it to Riley, he's ready to shoot the puck. Watch this play from Marner. Direct. You have then Slavin committed. The uncanny chemistry with Austin Matthews going back many, many years. But that, for me, is where the Leafs are different. And they're playing a better game that might translate in the postseason. And this is a great test for Carolina. Rod was talking about it. that even if you have a good period, you cannot change the way that you play because it can come down to a moment.
All right, now the Leafs have the 2 moments in a 2-0 game with 6:45 left here in the second period. Canes trying to create something here. Tavares will play this for Max Domi. Blake comes back to knock it away, but Riley scoops up the loose puck, and that'll be pawed at and caught by Frederick Anderson. When the Canes play on the road, join Stormy and the gang at the Carolina Ale House. The next Canes watch party is happening Wednesday when the Canes are in Montreal. It'll be at the Garner location of the Carolina Ale House, exclusive sponsor of the Canes watch parties.
That game Wednesday in Montreal, Mike. If Montreal has not clinched and it goes to game 82 because it's their 82nd game, it's going to be an unbelievable setting. I do think they'll clinch in the game prior that they have against the Chicago Blackhawks at home. But if they don't, you can only imagine.
No. I need to lean on you on that one because I have never been in the Bell Center for a game of truly any significance for Montreal. But everybody has always said that's one of, outside of here in Carolina, one of the more electric atmospheres in the NHL in meaningful games.
Right before the game, with their whole display on the ice that the Hurricanes do too, playing where the streets have no name. Pretty cool.
Despite Bono being a huge Caniac. As the Canes,
I got in trouble in, I think, 2006 because I told our producer, I said, I want to watch this this in-game presentation before the game. And that's what made Rod Brindamore eventually scoring the tying goal, Eric Stahl's overtime winner, Cam Ward's first ever playoff start against a great Montreal team, in my opinion, that had won the first 2 games in Raleigh. Saku Koivu goes down in that game 3. Unbelievable atmosphere, just like we appreciate an unbelievable postseason atmosphere here.
And again, if you can't find your way to Lenovo Center every single game of the first round against the New Jersey Devils, we're right here on FanDuel Sports Network with Tripp, Shane Hanna, the whole crew with us. As the Canes now are just concerned about trying to find a way to get 2 goals here because there's still something to play for. As the Leafs, Nyes let this one go through his leg. Matthews reaches for it too far. Canes are 3 points behind Toronto for second overall here in the Eastern Conference. And there's a big hit delivered by Svechnikov into the corner on Myers. We'll see if that can get Carolina going. Now Myers going back at Svechnikov. We get up close. Carolina trying to keep the puck in. This will be deflected out by Nyes. Nyes tries to play his way around Orlov. Into the corner it goes. Matthews will get to it. He can't bull his way out in front. Hall will get to it around for Orlov. And now this one will be deflected out. Jankowski. He works this for Hall. Hall backs off Tannen. Behind the net, Svechnikov. Chatfield will receive the pass and he'll go across for his defensive partner Orlov. See if that hit can spur something here. Orlov with it now, looking for traffic, gets it through. That'll pinball wide of the net.
That was a good chance. You had layers of traffic in front. Good thought from Orlov.
Now Svechnikov with it. He'll one-hand it to Hall. Now, a loose puck and a penalty coming up to Carolina. As Holmberg went down. And the Canes are going to be shorthanded. 4:22 left here in the second period, but Andrei Svechnikov bringing the physicality to the ice. Canes, though, down 2-0 here late in the second.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey Caniacs, this is Brent Burns. A couple years ago, a couple family members were starting to get sick, and we had a possible water issue. When our water got tested, we learned that it was contaminated. We didn't have the proper systems to take care of it. We learned about Connecticut Advanced Water System, and having it now and knowing we are safe and taken care of has been huge for our family. It's not just for drinking. It's made a big difference in many aspects of our life.
Connecticut Advanced Water Systems. Visit scorecleanwater.com to schedule a free water analysis.
Hockey is a game of speed, and the Triangle is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. At the center of the excitement are Lenovo and the Carolina Hurricanes, partnering to unveil the Lenovo Center. With one of its global headquarters in the Triangle, Lenovo is the perfect partner to launch a new era of technology and fun. Don't miss out. Come check out the Lenovo Center and cheer on the Canes. Taylor Hall in the penalty box says the Canes will be shorthanded for the second time in this one for tripping.
Yeah,
Mr. Tracy, you make the call.
Well, the can opener. He gets the stick eventually caught between Holmberg's leg or on the outside of that right skate and draws the tripping infraction. Carolina had a really good kill in the first period. You worry about that first and foremost and centrally, but well, you could use a moment shorthanded if it presents itself.
Well, maybe the moment's now as Burns has it. He'll drop this one for Jankowski. Jankowski across for Burns. He swats at it, but couldn't find the handle. And now Tavares will settle it down and drop it back for Matthews. Correct me if I'm wrong. Toronto likes to go with 5 forwards in this grouping, and why wouldn't you when you have the firepower they have? As Tavares, Matthews, Nyes, Nylander, and Marner out there for Berube.
Mike, nice reach from Jankowski to get that puck out. He's used that reach in different ways. It was part of the pre-scout when he became a Hurricane. He just used it there.
6'4", and he has got that ability to do so. And now there is Slavin doing what he does, reading the play along the boards and sending it back into the Toronto zone. Wall has to play it quickly up for Marner, as 1 minute has already evaporated in this chance for Toronto. Now along the board side of the net, Tavares, he'll go back. Marner to Tavares. Nyes is out front. The Leafs come in with the 6th best power play in the NHL against the #1 penalty kill right now. Matthews dancing with it. Sent across, Nylander back from Marner through traffic. Anderson sees it, he'll catch it and frame it and hang on.
But Jankowski nearly found Burns for a possible shorthander. Mr. and Mr. Shorthanded have been Jarvis and Aho. And Jarvis, when you look at his finishing ability in 2025, sandwich in there, gold medal for Team Canada. My favorite, that one against Andrei Vasilevsky that was early in the game, but really signaled the fact that Hurricanes were going to beat Tampa.
He's got 5 shorthanded goals this year. He is tied for second, one behind Alex Tuck of Buffalo, who's got 6. We saw that one happen. Now here comes Robinson. He's got Orlov with him, and that's deflected at the last minute. As the Leafs got to stick to that, as Orlov was cruising in for that chance.
That's a key play from Domi. That would have been picture-perfect one-timer.
Now McMahon with it. He tries to work around Chatfield. Up top, it's Domi. He will sit there and feed Riley. 2 seconds left here. Into the high slot, it goes McMahon. Shot saved by Anderson. Out of the box comes Hall. Canes don't locate it. As the Leafs get to a puck and keep it in, Hall would have been flying all by himself. Now Riley will go across the rink, read by Orlov. Chipped up, Robinson. He feeds Chatfield. Chatfield run into by Domi. And the Leafs are able to keep this puck in. Lawton will go into the corner. It'll roll around, and Robinson, Eric Robinson, with a career year, goals, assists, points, clears this one out to center. Now Stahl uses his size as he pushes back Tanev, and the Leafs have to go back in their own zone. 1:44 left here in the second period. Carolina trailing 2-0.
Can you answer? You're late in the second. That late goal in the first from Toronto.
Carrier tracks back to get to it. He'll flip it back into the Leaf zone, and this will be icing on Carolina. 90 seconds left in the second.
Hurricanes had 2 good looks shorthanded. Jankowski to Burns, and then Robinson. He turns Domi, but then Domi filled the middle of the ice. That allowed Riley to switch onto Robinson, and then Domi makes a good play with his stick. He got beat, but then he worked himself back to the middle of the rink before his stick did the rest.
Jankowski tries to win the defensive zone draw. The Leafs will come up with it. There's Mermis. He'll cycle with it, then he'll give it away, and And a chance for Carolina as Morrow comes up with it across for Stankoven. Stankoven drags his shot deflected wide. Behind the net, Carrier trying to get to it. Carlo, with the Leafs, will find the loose puck. 70 seconds remaining here in the second period. Burns throws one off the end boards, and Wall has to be ready, and he'll pounce on that with 1 minute, 5 seconds left here in the frame.
Not a bad thought, as you get an offensive zone draw late in the period. Wall forced to cover up, couldn't handle it cleanly off the end boards, and Stankoven was keeping him honest. Stankoven was close. If Wall's second try wasn't able to get this whistle.
Blake and Jarvis here, seeing if the Canes can get that late goal to cut the deficit in half.
Aho got booted, but you have a secondary option here. Jarvis on his power side.
Jarvis against Lawton. Lawton brought in from Philly to do just that. Wing draws and important pace. Canes can't keep it in as we're in the last minute of this second period. Behind the net it goes. Benoit and across for Tanev. Clears the zone. Canes have to tag up again. They'll roll it back in. And Lawton, he looks to clear, but it'll be kept in, knocked down neatly there by Aho. And reaching for it is Lawrence. He's able to clear, and then this is back into the Leaf zone. And Wall has a little bit of problems locating it, but bailed out by his defenseman Tanev. Now Aho can keep it in. Canes trying to get it to Blake. They will. Blake whips it across. Aho shot. Wall uses the glove to knock it down and freezes it right there.
What a pass by Jackson Blake. I mean, this has got hockey sense written all over it. Takes it off his skate. He's got pressure coming. Whips it across to Aho. You got two guys in front of the net. Great stuff from Blake. You know, I'm just thinking, Aho would have been better suited to go to the glove side. It looked like it was not all the way, but to the blocker, because then that maybe gives you a chance to rebound.
Now, loose puck in the circle. Nylander, though, is going to skate away with it. 15 seconds left. Nylander can fly on the backhand, trying to work around Chatfield. He'll leave it, side of the net, jumping out in front, a low drive from Holmberg, and Anderson kept the low part covered. And the Leafs trying to center. This comes to the boards. Chopped at by Carlo, and that is how the second period comes to a close. Scott Morrow will be the second intermission interview with Hannah Yates. We'll go after 40 with Shane Willis. Get his thoughts on what he's seen so far. And we'll have your second period highlights. Austin Matthews lighting the lamp, the only goal in the frame, as the Leafs lead the Canes 2-0 after 40.
With over 200 stores to shop, where can you find everything you're looking for all in one place? Crabtree, the go-to premier shopping and dining destination in the Southeast. Shop Allen Edmonds, Altered State, Banana Republic, Brahmin, Brooks Brothers, Chubby's, Coach, H&M, Lego, Lululemon, Michael Kors, Tag Heuer, Tommy Bahama, and so many more. Shop your favorites, discover something new, then relax and dine. All at one convenient destination. Crabtree.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center. It is 2-0. Maple Leafs. We are through 2 periods of the home finale for the Hurricanes in a game that, to the standings, does carry some consequence. If Toronto wins, no way Carolina is going to get above the Maple Leafs to possibly have home ice advantage over them. And a win would give them not only a better chance, because they'd only be 1 point behind Toronto with 2 games left to play, but it would give them an edge on both Florida and Tampa Bay in the race for possible home ice advantage if Carolina got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Unlike the first period where Carolina dominated but Toronto got the goal, in this period, Toronto dominated and got the goal. And that's really what you want out of the periods where you dominate. Toronto was the better team in this period. Carolina just 2 shots on goal, part of which is sort of owed to the fact that Carolina passed up a couple of really good shooting opportunities, including one by Andrei Svechnikov we will play for you in the highlights. Only way you're going to score is to shoot, and the Hurricanes were much more passing than shooting in the second period, although I will say Toronto carried the play. They dominated possession, and they have a 2-0 lead as a result. Nothing Frederik Andersen could do on the second goal. Austin Matthews played give and go across the ice, and he ripped it in from about the right faceoff dot. Andersen had no chance to get over for that one. You don't score 60 goals in a season by accident. Matthews, one of the best, if not the best, in the NHL at scoring goals. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got highlights, but before we do, a reminder. You saw how beautiful it was outside if you were coming into Lenovo Center today, and that's because it's tailgating season. No better place for Caniacs to get their tailgate on than your local Harris Teeter. You can shop online, you can shop on the go with the app, or you can go to one of the many locations of Harris Teeter. It is a Caniac tailgate staple, a location for you. All right, when we come back, highlights.
Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local.
Hey, Caniacs. As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, the local team at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses across the Research Triangle. Our families live here and contribute to our communities, so we have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/canes for a free home or business security assessment. That's vectorsecurity.com/canes.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge is back. Oh, yeah, baby! And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends and see if you can predict this year's playoffs. Can you pick the perfect bracket and claim the ultimate prize? A trip to a 2025-26 NHL event. Sign up today for a chance to win exclusive prizes at nhl.com/bracket.
Oh, it's highlights time here on the Lenovo Intermission Report of a 2-0 Leafs lead over the Hurricanes after 40 minutes. Second period highlights are brought to you by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. Taylor Hall creating a chance for his line mate Andrei Svechnikov, and I have no explanation for this.
Now a nice play, set, drop back, Svechnikov drops it for Hall, looking for Jankowski.
He's got to shoot there. He's a shooter in that spot. A heck of an entry from Hall to create that Svechnikov chance.
Andre tied up in knots right now. Jalen Chatfield with a chance. Joseph Wall had to come up with it.
Wait, out in front, he had Chatfield with him, and Wall makes the save, and the Leafs, just bat this one back into the Cane zone.
Oh man, I'm still wondering why Andre didn't shoot that puck. Svechnikov did get back to doing what Andre needs to do, and that's throw his body around.
Canes are 3 points behind Toronto. We're second overall here in the Eastern Conference. And that there's a big hit delivered by Svechnikov into the corner on Myers. We'll see if that can get Carolina going. Now Myers going back at Svechnikov. We get up close. Carolina trying to keep the puck in. This will be deflected out by Nines.
Unfortunately, Taylor Hall committed a penalty at the end of that play. Carolina went on the penalty kill, but they did kill it off, and that's why it's still just 2-0 with 20 more minutes to play. Luke DeCock is going to join us. We're going to talk about the game, maybe the Masters, and where this team is with 2 games left in the regular season. Next.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center. 2-0 Toronto after 40 minutes. Luke DeCock of the News and Observer joining me up here on the 5th floor while we wait for Rory's approach shot on the 18th hole with a 1-shot lead. This game, Carolina dominated the first period, didn't get anything out of it. In fact, was behind by a goal. I thought Toronto was the better team in the second period. Carolina didn't generate any offense. But I want to ask you about the opportunity for Andrei Svechnikov to maybe get his game going and not shooting the puck.
Yeah, I mean he's got to get more into a groove at some point. I mean they're going to need him in a week, right? I mean this is just, we're in a situation with this team where they need guys who can score goals in the playoffs. Andrei Svechnikov has that talent. He has that ability. He can throw his body around, but they're going to need him to score goals in the playoffs. And you'd like to see a guy like that go into the postseason with some confidence and some verve, to use a Coach K word.
Wow.
I don't know that that the way he's played tonight. Look, nobody's looked that good tonight. The goal at the end of the first period, I think the shots were, well, they corrected them, but on the board at the time they were 13-5 when the Leafs scored. I mean, are the Hurricanes in playoff form? They're out shooting the opposition 13-5. They're down a goal. They give up a goal in the last 15 seconds of the period. So I'm not really going to hold anything against anyone tonight. I think yesterday there's a little bit of motivation to eliminate the Rangers after what they've done to you. Look, man, the Hurricanes ended Boston's season. They ended the Rangers season. They didn't need Max Domi to do it. So there's a little more motivation in those games. The odds that they play the Leafs in the Eastern Conference Finals are pretty remote. There didn't seem to be a lot of juice from the Hurricanes in the second period. That goal in the last 16.5, whatever it was, pretty deflating. And look, they had a ton of chances at halfway through the first period. Pucks bouncing around, going sideways, a little overpassing on one chance. But I don't think anyone's out there feeling like they're going to get a contract extension based on this game. But you would like to see Andrei Svechnikov kind of get in some kind of groove, if not today, then in the next 2 games, because you're going to need him, and you're going to need him quickly.
Luke DeCock is joining us here, second intermission, 2-0 Toronto. 14 healthy forwards. It's been a long time since Carolina has had that kind of depth in the forward spot. There's no chance that Andre is going to be not one of the 12.
Right.
But other than Tyson Jost, who's the guy that comes out for you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I mean, tonight, they're giving Jordan Martinook a night off. It's his first day off in 2 years. You have a lot of decisions to make in that respect. I don't honestly know. I think that's going to be situational. It's going to depend on what the Devils lineup looks like, how you feel like you're playing. I mean, there's all kinds of good things that can happen, no doubt about it. But those are good decisions to have. Those are good problems to have. What you don't want to be is in a situation where you're calling guys up from Chicago who haven't played with you all year, and they've been in that position before. So look,
first year, Patrick Brown played his first game for the Hurricanes in Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And I can't even. I'm drawing a blank now. I can't even remember the dude they called up in the middle of the Rangers series last year.
That's right.
Currently residing in the Where Are They Now? I literally cannot remember the dude's name now.
Max Comtois.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Max Comtois. Thank you. Who was playing, over Kuznetsov. If you want to talk about guys getting pulled out of the lineup. So anyway, these are good problems to have. You want to have those problems. And they, you know what the other thing is? They sort themselves out.
They do.
You are not going to go on a playoff run with 14 healthy forwards. You're just not. So,
or 6 healthy defensemen. Alexander Nikishin, it's still probably a long shot that he draws into either of the games in Canada because they don't even have a visa to come here yet.
Yeah, I don't.
Let alone go there.
I think his immigration situation, based on what I've heard today and talking to people, may not be settled by the middle of the first round. I mean, you got to remember that even under the best of circumstances, getting a player over from Russia takes some bureaucratic wrangling. And I think we can safely say that the Department of State is not operating at the highest level of efficiency at the moment.
We seem to have a manpower problem right now in the federal government.
Well, it's a bad time to be rushing something like this through. So, it may take a minute here. I certainly don't expect to see him. I mean, even if these 2 games were here this week, I wouldn't expect to see him at either one. Certainly Canada as a whole adds a whole layer of difficulty to it.
All right, we got to wrap. I appreciate your time, Luke DeCock. Hopefully Rory will make that par putt and win the Masters. We'll come back with a check of the NHL scoreboard after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Go Carry offers fare-free, reliable, and convenient transit service throughout Cary and beyond. Whether you're commuting to work, heading to school, or exploring the community, we connect you to key destinations, including transit links to several towns in Wake County. With real-time tracking, comfortable rides, and excellent service, getting around has never been easier. Ride free with Go Carry and plan your trip today at gocarry.org.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Check the NHL scoreboard, brought to you by Lenovo, official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Ottawa beat Philadelphia in overtime 4-3. It was the Islanders over the Devils 1-0. Boston bombed Pittsburgh 4-1. Ongoing right now. Buffalo with a 2-1 lead in Tampa after one period. Blue Jackets and Capitals are 1-1 after one in D.C. Coming up later on, Oilers and Jets in Winnipeg. Sharks and Flames will start at 8 o'clock in Calgary. The Avalanche will play in Anaheim against the Ducks, and they will be going to a playoff at the Masters. Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose will head to extra holes, and we will head to the third period. Hurricanes trailing 2-0 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just 2 shots in the second period for Carolina. They will have to turn that around. We'll see if Rod Brindamore, after a sleepy second period, changes any forward combinations up just to kind of get the group going, because Carolina was pretty anemic offensively in the second period. Shot totals 13-12 in favor of the Maple Leafs. Mike and Tripp will have the third period. I'm Adam. I'll see you after the game.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Hey Hurricanes fans, it's game day, and Harris Teeter knows your party is just as important as the game. With mouth-watering wings, delicious dips, pre-ordered party platters to please any crowd, and not to mention the best pizzas, ribs, and ready-to-grill pub burgers in town. Only Harris Teeter can deliver delicious as you huddle up with family and friends to celebrate. Set a reminder to order ahead if you need party platters, and make Harris Teeter your pre-game stop before the next game. Harris Teeter, where Hurricanes fans shop for their delicious game day.
It's tough these days to find healthy and fast, but at Alpaca, you'll find both. From our all-natural charcoal-fired chicken, cooked using Peruvian spices, to our made-to-order dishes like arroz chapa, with sausage, chicken, or completely vegetarian, we have something for every diet. So take a break today. Come in or find us online for catering or to place a pickup order. Family owned and local. Make it a Peruvian night. Make it Alpaca.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Frederick Anderson, Pyotr Kochetkov, they are our Liberty Mutual Insurance crease coverage, and some of these men will be charged with being in charge in the postseason. Their playoff career numbers for Frederick Anderson, as you see, 38-30. Pyotr Kochetkov just 1-4, but the track record says Frederick Anderson. We'll see how it will play out, though, once we get to the first-round matchup against the New Jersey Devils.
You know, Mike, you look at both teams. Wall playing really well with the shutout going so far. Stolars, who played great against Carolina, and the visit up to Toronto. You know, both teams, would like to use both goaltenders if they're fortunate enough to have a long playoff run.
I think now in this day and age, you get to the point where you almost have to use both goaltenders in a postseason, depending on how it will all split out. As Jost puts a backhander right on, and that'll be spit out. Keane's trying to keep it in, but that'll be knocked free and sent forward by Yarncroke. On the other side of it, when you're looking at the netminders, the Canes, they go with the rotation pretty much all year round. We'll see what happens when you get to the playoffs. And there's a chance for Burns, but that's going to go off of the skate of Matthews and come all the way out. There's Matthews' first block here tonight. Now this will roll back into the corner. Matthews will come get to it in the Cane zone. He's going to be knocked down. No whistle. Chipped at. And the Canes will paw this one down. Roslovic will help get it in deep. Carrier is going to force Wall to play it around. And we're talking about how the Leafs have bought into what Craig Berube wants to do. Their shutout last night of Montreal in overtime was only 15 shots on goal given up to the Canadiens. Right now they've only allowed the Canes 14 shots. And Tavares, he'll have this one taken away. Carrier, turn. It'll go off of the glove of Tavares. It'll come across the Domi. They'll score. Nylander out in front. The Canes couldn't clear. And Toronto will tip that one home, and it's 3-0 Maple Leafs.
Well, as you mentioned, Mike, a chance to clear the puck that obviously didn't happen. You know, that's I'm not sure if the intent from Carrier was to go up the middle. You'd like to keep it on the outside, especially with that pressure on the backhand. And the pass from Benoit goes to Domi, and I don't know if Domi initially was going to shoot this puck and took a peek and saw that Nylander won the race to the front of the net in a breakdown for Carolina and made, whether it was immediate or spontaneous, a really wise decision not to shoot but to find Nylander, who's had another excellent year. Coming into this game, he had already guaranteed that he was going to be over a point a game.
That's his 45th goal of the season. Give the assists to Domi and Benoit. And now Chatfield back into his own zone, and Carolina's task has gotten a little tougher. We saw him come back from 2 goals down the other night in our nation's capital against Washington. They got to find a way to get 3 here. Still plenty of time left in the third. Only 2 minutes gone by. And Riley will work this one up. And the Leafs find their way to the Canes blue line no further. Nice play there by Chatfield, but his pass will be deflected away. And the Leafs will turn right back up with it. Holmberg. He looks for Bobby McMahon. McMahon, he'll put a shot with out in front Robertson. Leafs have been able to get out in front of Frederick Anderson here early in this third period. Only 2.5 minutes gone by.
Give him a ton of credit. You know, Carolina played at 3 o'clock here at home yesterday. The Leafs played at 7. Shouldn't have gone to overtime against Montreal. They had a decided edge in the play. Took till overtime.
And not that easy. Clear Customs come back here. Is now a bunch of heavy work done in the corner. Holmberg will come up with it. Carlo is on Hall for that one, and this loose puck will find McMahon. Andrei Svechnikov is not pleased at all with the Leafs.
I thought he should have, Mike, drawn a high stick.
Yep. And he's clipped on the bench.
And he's clipped. Well, I don't know if it would have been a double minor, but it looked like it was a missed call.
Now Jost will get to this. Out in front for Robinson, but that'll be deflected away, and Yarncroke plays it off the boards. Trying to chase after there's Lawrence. Slavin will step into him. Lawton wants to get to the puck. He'll get it out in front. Tanev gets it to Lawton, and his drive goes high, and Anderson waved at it as it went by. Yarncroke with that offering. Now a chance for the Leafs. They'll turn it back up as the Canes cleared it for just a moment. Now Slavin, he'll hand it for Stahl. Stahl over the Leaf blue line. His drive goes just wide. He'll go after his own rebound. Ian Tanev in the corner. Roslovic knocks it to Stahl. Back to Roslovic. Across the ice, Burns. Burns gets the shot through, but it's wide. Rebound settled down by Roslovic. Penalty coming up to the Leafs as Stahl's taken down. Robinson chipping after it. He's taken down behind the net by Tanev. Canes in possession. Extra attacker out for Carolina. Now it'll be touched here by Marner. And this could be interesting for Carolina.
I believe they're calling just the one high-sticking penalty that Stahl drew.
8 Toronto, minor penalty high sticking, minor penalty tripping.
No, you got it, Mike. So 4 minutes to Tanev, a very important penalty killer. Let's take a look at the high stick first, and then the trip that Robinson draws. And by the way, Svechnikov needs to start getting a break, because that was a clear high stick on Carlo. No call on that particular play. But with the double minor that your eyes saw, Mike, you know, this is a tremendous opportunity. Certain evenings that's turned into night or days, you can win without your power play. You need your power play here to make this a game.
It is a cash pop power play. 5-on-3 for Carolina. One back. Burns. He'll work this one for Jarvis. Aho will settle it. Jarvis. Burns. Quickly across. That's hammered by Hall. Rebound. Waved at by Blake. That goes off the side of the net. Hall will get to it. He'll peel it back for Burns. Canes moving the puck. That'll be sent back. Here comes Jarvis. It's a 5-on-4 with the double minor. Jarvis out in front, looking for Aho. Now another chance for Jarvis. Jarvis loads it up off of his skate. He'll turn away from Matthews. He'll get it to Blake. Blake. And Jarvis across the rink it goes. Oh, back for Jarvis. Wall makes the save. Rebound. And what a block by Benoit out in front.
Saved a goal, did Benoit.
Now Burns with it. Back for Jarvis. Blake wants it, but Jarvis will go back. Burns wasn't at the point. And a minute gone by here in this 4-minute double minor. Burns goes back to get it. He'll leave it and head to the bench.
Tanev in the box. Guys on the back end need to step up. What a play by Benoit.
Now Jost for Svechnikov. He shot out in front. Rebound still there. Put out by Stankoven. And then Wall will jump on that one.
You're doing some good things. Svechnikov immediately gets the puck to the net on the entry. The prior group, seam pass to Jarvis. Big save, and then Benoit locates on the rebound. What a oh my gosh, kick save with the left toe from Benoit. And then Svechnikov illustrated getting the puck to the, I mean, we get another look at that play from Benoit. That got even way better on the replay.
I just hesitate to say kick saving a beauty because
he looked like Johnny Bauer.
Oh. That would make any goaltender who ever wore a Leafs uniform happy. Now Svechnikov back to Morrow. Morrow. And there's now 35 seconds left on the first half of this 4-minute power play for Carolina. Morrow. He'll get it to Roslovic across the rink. Svechnikov, one touch, and that was a little too soft. And coming the other way, it's a chance for Lawton, and that one stays out. Oh, it had Anderson beat.
He went with a Brian Ralston slap shot.
Oh, you've seen that once or twice. Every now and again it works. Can the Canes take advantage after that missed opportunity? 7 seconds left in the first half of the double minor. Svechnikov's shot will go wide. Can Morrow keep it in? No, he can. It'll come out. Canes had 5 shots in the first half of the power play. We're now in the second half of it. Canes need to find a way to get a goal to get on the board. Here comes Morrow. Across Svechnikov with a shot. Stankoven waiting for it. Wall's down. Roslovic shoots. And somehow Wall got a piece. Oh, my goodness. What a save.
It was the blocker, or you call it the waffle. First Benoit and then Wall. For a big man to have that type of athleticism.
Now Burns will jump in. This will be worked back for Jost. Jost. He'll hand it for Stankoven. A minute 23 left on the power play. Back for Burns. He'll get it across. Svechnikov shot right on. And Wall gobbles that up.
He's in the zone. Yeah, is right. Stankoven uses the back of the net beautifully. Oh my gosh, what a save. He should work at the Waffle House. With the blocker/waffle. I said the Lawton old school Brian Ralston slap shot on a breakaway because Ralston was the first guy to ever do it.
Oh.
For Minnesota at the time, he's the first guy that I could ever remember when shootouts came into the league to utilize the slap shot.
Now this one, drop back, Burns, trying to get that shot through. Second attempt, he'll settle it down. Now working this one, side of the net hall, on the boards. Burns, Jarvis. And he'll go back and forth with it, coming up on a minute left here. Blake tries to walk out in front, good stick by Wall. And now this one is located by the Leafs, and they'll hammer this one the length of the ice. You keep talking about the Waffle House. Blockers come on. Yeah, when am I not? And that on the other side is syrupy sweet. Here comes Carolina. Blake around the boards. That'll go off the glass. Jarvis trying to get to it. He will. Hall walking in, looking for a lane. Drop back for Jarvis to Burns. 30 seconds left on this power play. Jarvis with it. He'll turn. Burns with it. Aho back to Burns. Jarvis. Canes need a shot. Aho gets it. He scores! On the power play! Jarvis sets up Aho, and Carolina's on the board. They trail 3-1.
Well, it took 3 minutes and 42 seconds to get it done. But if a power play ever deserved a goal, this was it. Pass with pace, a seam pass from Jarvis right into the wheelhouse. That left leg is down low on the ice, so Aho can get it to the net quickly with a ton of velocity. Burns will get the other assist, and Wall was there. But it was such a heavy shot, he could not impact all of that heaviness of the Aho offering with that glove. If you ever earned a power play goal that took all that time on the double minor, that was it.
I thought we were encroaching on, did everything but score on the power play, but they did score. And now we'll see if that tilts the ice at all. Leafs want to come back. Tavares, he's ridden to the boards by Stahl and then given a heavy shove. See if this can spark Carolina here. 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third. Domi wants to get it down low. And this will come free, and the Canes work it into the zone. That'll be deflected. Carrier wants to get a bounce. He'll chip at it for Stankoven. Tanev is there. He'll find Tavares. Canes now keep it in, deflected out front by Carrier, and Wall with another stop. Orlov wants to keep it in. Leafs want to run. They'll get it up to Tavares, and he'll just ease this in the zone. With the assist for Seth Jarvis, that is his 35th. That is a career best. And he is tied in his best season in points that he set last year. With that assist, he's got 67 on the season right now. Barajo is 29th. And on the power play, his 5th. Now Riley, move it around for Myers. Orlov jumps in, McMahon doesn't see it. So we'll go to the slot, and Myers is going to flip it out. Sneaking behind the defense is McMahon. He's watched there by Chatfield. Around the boards for Holmberg. Pontus Holmberg with a tight turn. Excellent stick there by Jankowski. Still a loose puck. Robinson will wave at it. Leafs will keep it in. Carlo. He'll go low. Robertson wants a piece. McMahon will get to it. Mark Jankowski trying to play it away. McMahon, he's going to use the net to come out. Gets a backhander through, and Anderson has to make the save. Robertson with a shot. Anderson uses the glove to keep that one out. Couldn't control the rebound, but Carolina can clear.
Holmberg and Robertson have been very noticeable, haven't they? You know, Toronto scores, you know, really their second period goal from their big boys in transition, but that line's been really good on the forecheck.
Matthews with it. That's the thing when you talk about Toronto, all of the heavy lifting that their big names do. They've needed something on the bottom side. Now their bottom six is coming to life. Jarvis has this one knocked away by Tanev. 9:25 remaining here in this third period. Canes trailing by 2. Leafs will clear. Slavin going back to get it. He'll play it away from Matthews. And now a chance for Carolina. Nicely done here by Blake. Blake makes a move, drags, shoots, can't get it through. What a block by Marner to commit to come all the way back. The guy who's closing in on 100 points this year. Now the Canes will work this one back. Slavin with it. He'll get it to Blake. Back to Slavin. His shot deflects just wide of Wall's net. Jarvis will get to it. He'll play it back for Walker. Walker across Slavin. Slavin centering it. Blake rolls it back in. He's taken down by Benoit. And the Leafs Marner will come away with it.
This top line we talked about in our open, I don't see any reason you'd change their configuration for the playoffs. I don't care about their size. You know, they tied the game against Washington. They led it yesterday against the Rangers. They've given the team belief in this.
Now a chance here will be deflected as Hall's out in front. No, they play bigger than what they're listed. I'm with you. Now Burns tries to get a shot through. He does Wall with a save. Svechnikov wants to get it. Myers can't clear. Taylor Hall. Back. Morrow walking with it. He'll get this one to Hall. He turns his drive. Located and hung on to by Wall. And the Canes needed a spark. Their power play had the chances, and then the finish. No pun intended by Sebastian Aho.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
The best cocktails are made with Tito's handmade vodka. Now hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like this, a perfectly spiced Tito's Bloody Mary is more like a cocktail with Tito's. Always a hit. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey Caniacs, this is Brent Burns. A couple years ago, a couple family members were starting to get sick, and we had a possible water issue. When our water got tested, we learned that it was contaminated. We didn't have the proper systems to take care of it. We learned about Connecticut Advanced Water System, and having it now and knowing we are safe and taken care of has been huge for our family. It's not just for drinking. It's made a big difference in many aspects of our life.
Connecticut Advanced Water Systems. Visit scorecleanwater.com to schedule a free water analysis.
Our Kia player profile. Let's put Sebastian Aho under that microscope. The last 9 games, he has come up big with 3 goals, 6 assists, and 2 power play goals.
Well, if you just look at it here, this Toronto player, and Jarvis recognizes that there's no way that stick can prevent this seam pass from happening. No way that Scott Lawton can get to that. Very smart. Lawton knew that Carolina had numbers in front, so that's why he's as low as he is. And Jarvis just knew there's no way even reach anticipation that that's not getting its way to Aho. And Aho drifted just enough towards the top of the circle and pounded it home.
Now for Sebastian Aho, in his 5th power play marker for Brent Burns, his 3rd assist on the man advantage this year, and that came right on time for the Canes, who are looking for more. Trailing 3-1, Taylor Hall. He's watched here by Lawton. Hall wanted to go across for Morrow. Morrow will keep it in. He'll whip it to Burns. Burns to Hall. This will be deflected out in front. Stankoven couldn't get a stick to it. This one will come out to center ice. And the bouncing puck settled down by Scott Morrow. One thing with Morrow, too, you keep calling it his confidence every game. The ability to do things with the puck has been so impressive.
And what he's doing offensively, it looks like the D combinations have changed a bit.
Yeah.
But you're trailing the game and things he can do. I'm sure he's going to play a ton here down the stretch.
Now here comes a chance behind the net. Nylander, he scored his 45th. And put Toronto up 3-0 before the Aho power play goal. Walker, good work into the corner. Nylander takes it away from Stahl. Stahl will chop at it. Loose puck. Slavin will get to it. He'll lay it forward for Stankoven. Slavin will join him on the rush. He tries to sidestep his way here from Tanev. Now the Canes wanted to keep it in, and then it'll just be deflected and launched out of play. 6:39 left here in the third. The Canes trail the Maple Leafs 3-1. Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
6:39 remaining. The Carolina Hurricanes continue to trail by 2. When looking for goals, the answer lately has been Sebastian Aho. Not only 5-on-5, but on the power play. He's on the opposite side, as we've seen Alex Ovechkin his entire career, but he has found the hole and utilizing the leverage of going down on one knee. You don't see this too often, but when Sebastian Aho has dropped down to one knee, he gets the elevation and velocity behind all those shots, Mike and Tripp, that are going bar down. They'll be looking for that shot again late in this period.
Oh, that is...
Well, that's really interesting stuff from a goal scorer, Mike. You know, and you know, is without success trying to stop it. Why you go down to one knee?
You know, the one guy who I think of is as Orlov stays on both skates, and that one goes over the top of Wall's net as he got a piece of Sidney Crosby, who's so good at going down to the one knee to either side of the net or a little out in front to wire that puck home.
And I think it helps you to get as much of the blade on a pass. If it's bouncing and it doesn't come in flat.
Now Carlo will roll this one around, and I think Robertson will get to this one. He'll ease it in. He's the brother of the Stars' outstanding player, Jason Robertson. Carlo back down low.
That series is locked in, isn't it? Stars and Avalanche.
That's going to be a war. Now here's a chance for Robertson, kicked away by Anderson. Not out. Long drive. It'll roll out in front. Getting a piece of it is Holmberg, but that'll deflect wide. Robertson will go back to the point. Mermis' shot gets through. Save made by Anderson. Now Orlov will get in front of it, but back for Mermis. Mermis tees it up. That'll be deflected wide. Blake will get to it. He'll take a look, but just too far for Jarvis, and Brandon Carlo with it. Now the clock going to start to become the enemy for Carolina, along with the Leafs. And this is rolled around the boards. Kept in, it's Nylander. Nylander has that one tucked away by Hall. 5:05 left here in the third. Canes need to find 2 goals here. to tie this one. Out bouncing puck. And Frederick Anderson hangs on to that one.
This would be a commercial break, but I believe we're not going because that came on the Toronto side of the red line. And Freddie holds on. Anderson was fortunate, good on him to have his glove behind his stick there because that jumped. That's why he ended up taking the whistle.
And it's got to be frightening for a goaltender. You think it's an easy play, and
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeesh. Now here's a chance for Carolina to move forward. Jost into the Leaf zone. Across for Hall. Hall drags this shot. Goes through the crease. All the way out for Domi. Domi. He's going to hustle in. Drop back for Nylander. William Nylander finds Morgan Riley. And a chop there up high by Myers. This puck comes free. Doesn't get to Anderson. Second chance does. And a knuckleball gets by him. Tavares with the goal. His 38th of the year. And it's 4-1 Toronto.
The former Hurricane Game 7 hero, Max Domi's had a big third period. Set up the Nylander goal. And here Nylander will go D to D and eventually work itself to Domi. Walker comes up with a huge block. Max is able to corral that puck out of midair after the Walker block, and it was a good one. Get it from his skate to his stick. And then was Tavares yelling for it? I don't know. Hockey sense, and then that's a bounce because that thing did not come off of John Tavares' stick the way that he intended, and that can fool a goaltender. You know, there's no way to prepare for that, but Domi's had a heck of a third period.
I mean, he's capable of those moments, is Max Domi. It would be his second assist, and now the Leafs trying to put a little more pressure on. Carolina will come on away with this one. Give the assist to Domi and Riley, and this is icing on Carolina. And why is this a big game here in Raleigh? Because the Leafs are trying to not only clinch the Atlantic Division, they want to make sure that they are the second seed in the Eastern Conference. The Canes, even though they wouldn't be, quote, the second seed, if they get those points and finish second overall in the Eastern Conference, you would have home ice with everybody except for Washington.
I still think, you know, because you prioritize health over everything else, that, and I'm sure it's going to be communication with a bunch of players, that the Hurricanes, you know, may consider inserting some guys from Chicago in the lineup. Maybe some guys won't make the two-game road trip. That's my own speculation. And if you have those guys come up, I mean, Nadeau got his 30th last year. Yep. They ain't going to be treating it like Game 81 in Montreal, Game 82 in Ottawa. You know how they're going to treat it.
Sure.
You have a bunch of guys that have had excellent years down there in a variety of different roles in Chicago.
And there's a limit to how many you can call up. But at the same time, you can get a good look at those young players, maybe some of the veterans as well, Triple, you know, will be leaned on when you look at Black Aces.
You know, there's a guy that just came over and played, I think, his first game with Chicago. Remember this name, Joel Nystrom. Really good defenseman, in my opinion, in terms of his upside and the benefit of the American League. Had played in the Swedish Hockey League until just coming over to Chicago. Remember that name. I like this guy.
And, of course, Alexander Nikishin is here. Well, getting here. We'll find out. As Aho works this puck back to Burns across for Slavin. Slavin's drive deflected, and Wall gets a piece of that one. Joseph Wall's had a big hand in this game as to why the Leafs have this 3-goal lead now with 2.5 remaining in the third period.
The Canes, I think, have had a really good third period. Had a really good first period. The late goal by Holmberg was a dagger, because it gave Toronto life, and then you'd give Toronto the edge in the second period. It was not a decided one, but Canes have had a good third.
Oh, they have. They've had the push, but a couple of bounces.
And tough to chase in this league.
Oh, it's unreal when you look at the number, that how much that first goal makes a difference here, Trip, as it's icing on the Leafs. And a quick look. There's no place like home. We're not in Kansas, but The Canes this year have tied the franchise record for most wins on home ice with 31. The 05-06 team, we know what they did. It's the final home game here. And the playoffs start on Saturday throughout the NHL. We'll find out when the Canes start. We know they're going to play the Devils, and it'll start right here, and you can watch every single game on FanDuel Sports Network. This puck is eased out to the Canes blue line.
If it's Toronto, Ottawa, that's going to be a war.
Now Morrow thought about a slap pass there. Jost will get to it. Side of the net. Svechnikov was looking for Hall. Now Hall will wave at this one, and now sneaking behind the defense. Tavares was looking for a little bit more offense. Played off the boards to Nylander. He'll backhand one. Tavares knocks it down, still loose, and Jost comes back to help out his netminder Anderson to keep it a 3-goal game. Now Jost with it. He tries to work his way around Carlo, and he'll draw a penalty with 1:16 left here in the third period.
You know, it's a tall task to do anything here miraculously late, but think about Jost's game.
25 Toronto minor penalty tripping.
Probably, if you're healthy, will start outside the lineup in the postseason. Blocked a shot in the first period. Thought he might be done.
Yep.
Here he just saves a goal. Coming back as the low centerman. By the way, had he not blocked the shot, he would have helped out on the Holmberg goal, so that's just a tough break. And after he does that, he draws a penalty. That's his game right there. Going back to the first period.
Again, he has been a pro. It's a cash pop power play for Carolina. Wanted to work that one down low, but the Leafs are able to play this one out for Lawrence. Lawrence makes a move. He'll roll in. Backhand chance. Goes off the side of the net. I was going to ask you if you would lift Frederik Andersen here for a 6-on-4 look if you're the Canes, but Andersen's staying in his crease. And this is dropped back from Morrow. Morrow will find Svechnikov with it. Svechnikov unleashes the shot. Traffic out in front. Wall makes the save, and he'll hang on. 49 seconds left here in the third period.
In this case, I would not. And I don't know. There's a huge list of tiebreakers. Let's say Toronto's going to finish ahead of Carolina, but let's say Florida, Tampa.
Right.
You know, if you ever got to the Stanley Cup final, you know, like goals for, goals against, you know, no, I would not here. And we're going to see what the lineup's going to be from the goal out, who's going to travel, who may not, but I'll tell you, Carolina's going to field the lineup, and I'd love to see them go in there and show their youth movement, possibly, and they're going to have every bit of a chance to win in Montreal and Ottawa.
That is the remaining schedule, back-to-back, Wednesday and Thursday. Both games will be on FanDuel Sports Network. As this is dropped back for Jost, he'll hand it Roslovic, Stankoven. Push it forward. Canes here on the power play. Behind the net it goes. Myers wants to get to it. Can't. Svechnikov will. Back up top, Morrow. Back for Svechnikov. Svechnikov shoots, blocked by Myers. And Yarncroke will play this one back into the Cane zone. And 10 seconds left in this one. Morrow will get to it. Work it out for Jost. This will be zipped across, and a chance there for Stankoven goes wide. And that's how this one will end, and the Leafs will take the 4-1 decision over Carolina as the Canes fall to 31-9-1 at home this year.
Give Toronto a lot of credit. Tight turnaround with a 7 o'clock start up in Ontario yesterday. I mean, Carolina did a lot to the good. You know, and really, if there's one area that's been a recent trend that they're going to have to eliminate here come game one, whenever it is against New Jersey, it's going to be these late period goals.
Yep.
So I think it changed the whole game. When Holmberg's, it's a tough break because Jost was hurt on the play, really became a Toronto power play, and they took advantage. I thought Morgan Riley had a great game after playing 25 minutes last night. But these recent late period goals, the first here in this one, Cooley yesterday, Washington got a late one, and Boston did. You're going to want to eliminate that in the postseason.
Yeah, that has been an Achilles heel. Well, the Canes have 2 games left here in this regular season, both on the road, both in Canada. It's a back-to-back. We'll be in Quebec first when the Canes take on the Canadiens. Wednesday night coverage starts at 6:30, and then Thursday we'll be in Canada's capital.